Oh, were we waiting for you to go get the Minute Maid cup there? You know, it is never a dull moment without you, brother. But the tall boy, how are you, man? How are you?
Man, it's season 2. It's a new year. We're back, baby. It's the lab and it's tech time, man. I love this, bro. You have no idea.
This is our time. That's true. This is CES kinda virtual, whatever that means. We're gonna dive into that and talk about that. But this is really the reason why we started doing this about
back in September, October.
Well, no. So no, we've been running the streets doing CES Consumer Technology Show, covering these types of events for over a decade, and it's very strange this year. Not physically being in Las Vegas with the sore feet, walking up and down Eureka Park, walking up and down all the different casinos and things like that. So it's tough, but things are happening. Things are still matriculating, and you know what? Nothing can hold us down. And let me tell you something. We got some winners behind the curtains right now. I'm just gonna put it to you like that, right?
That's right.
The lab has always come through with providing timely, relevant news to the consumers and non-biased reviews, non-biased product information. Tallboy, talk to us a little bit about, first of all, your impressions of what CES has been thus far for you from a virtual perspective.
Okay, so before we do that, this would have been my 8th year at CES.
Ooh, you're an old man.
I know, my 8th year. Last year, I broke my streak because I did not go last year because I was in Morocco and London on New Year's, and there was no physical way I could have made it. So I literally broke my streak. So this year, we find out that it's all virtual, and we find out that it's all virtual. It's been interesting, shall we say, trying to find companies, trying to chat with them, trying to set up meetings, you name it. We've been trying to do it. We found some great people, some great companies. I've met some people and I've asked them to come on to this show. I don't want to really tell it all, but I think the solid state drives, I think the educational, the breast pump, I think I said that in my promo earlier. I'm not sure if all of these companies will be here today. Even J5 Create, that's based out of Georgia, one of my favorite companies. I don't know if that'll show on the thing, but hopefully they'll be here. Benjilock, and there's some new companies that I'm just now meeting because CES is so huge. So hey, this is what we're here for. We do tech for this, and to see some of the new technologies that people will be buying products for Christmas. That's why we do.
That's true, man. And I think the team is extensive, and the team is valuable, and we want to give shouts out to the team. So not just the collaboration between Tallboy Enterprises and Hicks New Media. So let me bring in Mr. Eric Burks, who I also have on the team, who has gone to CES with us a number of times.
Yeah,
right?
I miss some days.
Right, so who's been in the fray with us on the floor, and kind of like I was telling you about backstage, I didn't preempt you on this, but again, we're going to bring these organizations on, and kind of your role today in this discussion is to be that consumer that's going to go to the Best Buys and the Micro Centers and is Fry's Electronics still in business?
I think so.
Those types of locations, right? 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be, when these products actually start hitting the shelves, and kind of give that perspective to the everyday consumer.
Okay.
We're at the virtual events, right? We've gone through press day, all Monday, start at 4:00 in the morning. So we've gone through those conversations, but we would really like to have you kind of as that third person looking in and say, how does this product really benefit this particular target market and things like that. So without further ado, Tallboy, talk to me, man. How would you like to proceed with this? Because again, we've got some winners standing in the background, and they are clamoring to get on stage and talk about their products. I am at your mercy, sir.
All right, so I think 10 minutes tops, because we have a lot of companies that are in here now and that will be coming in later. I have a 10-minute timer on my phone.
Yeah.
So when you hear the beep or you hear something go off, we'll try and wrap it up as quickly as possible, but we're going to drive the conversation. Eric, myself, and James will ask you questions about your product, who is it designed for, what's the price point? What else? Where can they find it at? And how does your product fits the average consumer need? Please leave your email address. I think you should have put it in the show notes in the private chat, but we'll constantly repeat this as new people come in. Put your website up so James can have it on the scroll, and we go from there. Outside of that, I don't think that this will be too hard, but I mean, it's CES and it's virtual. I know people are tired of the virtual stuff, but hey, let's learn this.
Hey, but you come here to be entertained as well.
Let's make it fun. Let's make it fun.
We've been doing this forever, so let's continue to entertain and provide that relevant information.
All right, so we're gonna go with, if I'm correct, the first person is gonna be Evelyn Belay from Domalys.
Evan Belay, yeah, you're right.
He has the smart lamp that saves.
He just murdered your name.
he just murdered the name. But you know what, Evan?
Come on, it's an American name. I'm French, but it's almost an American name. You can say it your own way.
You didn't even let me to say bonjour. You didn't let me say any of that, man.
Go on, I'm waiting.
Evan, I don't know any other French, but I've been to Paris. I've been to the other airport that flies out to Malta. That's like an hour away.
Beauvais, really nice airport. You have a chance. You're lucky.
I've been to Beauvais. Yeah, so we can do this. But with that being said, 10 minutes is on the clock. Without further ado, tell me all about Domalys.
Okay. So first of all, thank you very much for hosting me. My name is Evan Belay, and I'm the business developer and country manager of Domalys in the US. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story of Domalys. Domalys has been created by two engineers who are my CEOs, and they had an idea of changing the life and making the life easier and better for caregivers and also elderly people into assisted living and nursing home. They are way too much forgotten in this market, assisted living and elderly. We are always thinking about new technology and new things who can improve our life as a young person, but we forgot a lot about the elderly people. So my two bosses take the decision of being into an assisted living for more than 2 weeks and live with them. We live with nurses, live with residents, and understand the problem that they are facing every day. And they face a lot of problem. And nothing is made really ergonomic or really made intelligently for them. So they came with this idea and this problem about the falls into assisted living. 2 out of 3 person over 65 years old fall into the private home or into an assisted living. And this can result to really, really heavy injuries, even death sometimes. So they have created a smart lamp, which is called Aladin. And so we called it Aladin because unfortunately you don't have 3 wishes on it, but you have 3 magic features who can save an elderly's life. The first one is going to be automatic lighting. So it will help the elderly to go to the bathroom and move during the night without by securing his movements. The second one is going to be automatic fall detection. So basically it's going to send an immediate alarm to the caregivers if the elderly fall down during the nights. Like a slow fall can slide out of his bed, or he can just, for example, slide on his sleepers and fall down. Or it happens, you have to realize that being an elder is a real thing, and they can, for example, slide into urine or stuff like that. This happens really, especially for people in dementia and stuff, and so on. So, and the third feature, which is it's going to be more focused on the data analysis of the residents. So Aladin is going to spot how many times per night the resident's going to wake up to go to the bathroom, or to sometimes just wander. And if the residents gets up, for example, just 1 time a night, it's going to be a normal tracking. And if suddenly the residents wakes up 5 times to go to the bathroom or others, you can see that there is a new pathology settling. Or for example, in not waking up anymore and staying at bed really late. This can show you that there is something changing into his organism, into his body, and then you need to react really fast. So the caregiver will be able to call the doctor if any change occurs. With those 3 features. I want to say magic, but they're not magic. We just think a lot about it, and we work a lot about that. So those 3 features is going to reduce to 75% the fall, thanks to intelligent lighting, first of all. So we have to know that when an elder is coming into a new house, most of them like spend, I don't know, 30 or 20 years with their husband or wife and lived into their own house that they bought and raised the children inside. And suddenly they're changing completely the atmosphere. So the light's going to be not going to be on the right, but it's going to be on the left. And they have all those changes going to come like for approximately between 2 weeks to 3 months. And it can be like a really dangerous part of the life of the elderly. And this is how you can fall and injure yourself like really, really bad. And so thanks to Aladin, the elderly will be able to move around and like be autonomous and keep his autonomy into an assisted living, so live by himself. Something really important about our company as well is like we co-designing everything. So as I told you, my boss spent 2 weeks into an assisted living over there, and it's also a part into our recruitment to spend time with the elderly, at least a day and a night, to understand really the problem that they are facing. And we are really more concerned about that. Also, it's something, elderly is something that everybody facing with their parents, with the family, with aunts, uncle, and so on. And we are all concerned about that. And when you see the results of a fall or how the way that they are, sometimes assisted living can, cannot be able to see how the residence is reacting, is something that's really difficult for them, and they need this kind of device to help them.
I got a question. Well, actually, there's a question here. Mimi actually works in the assisted living for in that industry. If I'm correct, don't quote me. But her question was, how will this system transmit the information and how?
So it's really simple. Everything is done on Wi-Fi. So the Aladin is going to send a signal to all Aladin is going to be connected to each other between each room. So it's going to relay Wi-Fi, and each time there is an incident, a fall, or others, it's going to send an immediate alert on the smart badge that I have just here, which is really small. A smart badge which is really small, and they receive, like, for example, room 204 and the elderly fall, and we provide this badge, which is, as I told you, like really, really small. You can put it in the front pocket. It's different than the actual DECT that they are using, for a simple reason. The DECT is treating information from imagine the room 204 needs some water, when room 305 needs some food, and room 505 fall, and you cannot see it immediately. She's going to have to do the round trip around the facility to see that. With this badge, she will be able to see immediately that something happened and something is wrong into the room. So she will be able to react really fast. So basically everything is working in Wi-Fi, and if you don't have Wi-Fi into your facility, we are able to create our own network over there.
How much does this product cost?
So it's a rental basis. Everything is included, from the installation to the study to the after sales. Everything. It's rented $70 per unit.
And is it available? Is it available now?
It's available now. I come right now to install it at your house.
and where can they purchase it at?
You just give me a call or send me an email at evan@domalys.com. And I will come to your facility. I'll do a study from here and be able to install everything after that. And everything is for free. So the thing interesting with this, the rental basis is like, I don't know if it's right to say that in English, but it's like a key in hand, like you have nothing to do. We are installing everything, and the product is lifetime warranty. So as soon as you are in the contract with us, for example, the elderly is breaking it, tearing it off the wall or whatever, even if we have like special angle that's not possible to tear it off the wall, it's IP65. So if somebody pee on it, a dementia people pee on it, it will resist. You can put it in the shower, but imagine you have a problem with it, we will come personally and change the device immediately for you.
All right, and you got about 30 seconds. Why should somebody purchase this? And why should a company or individual purchase the product?
I mean, for a company, you know that it's different in my country, but in America, lawsuits are like really common, and they happen into assisted living. And there's an actual real story about assisted living closed by a fall and a lawsuit by that. With that, in Europe, we are able, we have more than 1,000 clients, and we are able to say, imagine the family want to bring them to court. We are able to say that, hey, the nurse reacted in less than 30 seconds and came to the room. And for a private person, it's really simple. Everybody want to take care about his elder and parents.
All right. So real quick, James, can you put their website on the ticker real quick?
Yeah, I did. And you know what? That's some interesting stuff. And we got a couple of other questions. You definitely sparked some interest from a lot of the folks because they're in that demographic, right? And then I guess we'll reach back out to you because want to know, is this monitoring happening 24/7 around the clock? And how do folks wear that, when they're sleeping and things of that nature? So you've definitely sparked some good interest.
So
thank you very much.
What's your email?
Just one last one thing. Evan at domalys.com. Sorry. Just one last thing. So something about monitoring. We're monitoring residents, but it's really important for us for privacy. And so Aladin doesn't have any camera on it. Everything is done by artificial intelligence and also motion sensors.
Gotcha.
All right. So if you're interested,
you don't want to see your mother on the ground and somebody sees her like that.
Correct.
That's true.
Something like
So if you're interested,
this is for folks that are in assisted living, correct?
Yeah, it's for folks who are in assisted living, but we are developing a home version with you can call like caregivers. It's not caregivers, but your family. For example, you are the son and your mother is living like 5 miles away from you. You will receive the thing and her neighbors as well. And we are creating this, but we are still on the path. But it's absolutely available for assisted living right now.
All right. So if anybody that's watching right now, Evan, EVAN at Domalys. That's DOMALYS.com. It's right there on the screen. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys, for asking me.
We'll follow up with you before the end of Q1 so we can have you back on the show for a more in-depth conversation.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you very much, and Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you very much. All
right, guys. So what'd you think, Eric?
I think I didn't get to ask any questions.
Eric, you got to jump in.
Hey, you are secondary. The audience is the primary.
I get it.
And what's cool is that they're asking the questions, and that is one thing that I did see kind of prevalent this year.
Yeah,
a lot more personal safety types of pieces of equipment. A lot more masks. Masks aren't going away, right? I've seen like Razer come out with masks that have I think they got speakers in them or whatever. They got built-in ventilation. They've got headphones built. So those types of things are with us for a while, and we're seeing companies build technologies around personal safety,
right,
hygiene, and things of that nature. So
I like it. I think it's hey, becoming elderly myself, it might come in handy.
Gotta love it.
All right, so who's the next one? I think if I'm correct, it was Carter from Biwin. Here's a funny story. I just received this email, so I jumped in on their room today. And when I was jumping in on their room today, I was asking questions about their solid state drives and what was so important about solid state drives over hard drives. And now that we're all working from home, or we have home-based businesses, you need a hard drive. And I think I asked somebody could they come in and do our show today, and Carter volunteered, and he saw my name. And it was funny because Carter said that he saw one of my videos on YouTube, and when he saw the video on YouTube, he actually was very descriptive in my content, and to be in his room while they were talking about their product, it was kind of full circle, and it was very humbling to hear Carter say, I know your work. So thank you so much for joining.
That's what happens when you put quality out there, but that's what happens when you put quality work out there.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. So it's Biwin, the solid state drive company.
Yep.
And Carter's going to tell you all about it. Let me get my 10-minute timer on deck. Eric, you better get your questions in because I'm going to drive the conversation if you don't, okay? And anybody that's watching the show, feel free to ask your questions while you're here because Carter is here to assist, okay? And we
All
might
right.
have a surprise for you at the end. Starting now.
All right, so I'm gonna be quick and simple since we only got about 10 minutes here.
A little left.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over two products or two sets of products. One is with our partner. So Biwin here is we've been working with memories since the year 1995. So it's been about just slightly over 25 years since we've been in the field. And but it wasn't until recently that we partnered up with HP. I'm pretty sure everybody here should be familiar with the company HP. We partnered up with them, and then we pushed out some products. And the products in question, let me share the screen real quick. So the product in question here, can everybody see it? If you could move it over. Okay, so this one right here, the one we're looking at right here, is the P500. It's a compact. Compact solid state drive, portable drive. You can bring it anywhere you want. You can easily fit it inside your pocket, inside maybe your laptop bag, inside your backpack, anywhere, even in your purse. Potentially even in your wallet, depending on how big your wallet is. But you can bring it around anywhere you want. It's at the grasp of your fingertip. And it has so for the P500, it only has one capacity, which is 1 terabyte. Equivalent to 1,000 gigabytes, and it has the maximum sequential reading speed of 420 megabytes per second. Sorry, and then a maximum sequential write of 268 megabyte per second. So, and let me move on to the next one right here. So this one right here, that's the P700, which is a lot different. It's more aesthetic. It's slightly bigger. It's more like the traditional solid drive. It's blocky, rectangular, but it has that minimalist type of look. And so this one comes in 3 different capacities, which is 256 gigabytes, 512 gigabytes, and 1 terabyte. And so the main difference here is the performance, and obviously the exterior, the performance. So the difference in performance is that it has the maximum sequential read and write of both at 1,000 megabyte per second. So which is essentially 1 gigabyte per second. So from the number, it's kind of like tripled the it's P500. And so you can purchase both of these products. Mainly for P500, you can purchase it on stables.com. You can go over to Amazon, and you can visit Newegg to make these purchases. And also Costco. And if you are interested in let me go back to the previous slide. If you're interested in the P500, they are actually the cheapest on Costco at $10 cheaper than the other website, which is at $59.99 compared to $69.99. And as for the P700, so for the 256 gigabytes capacity, you're looking at $69.99, and then for the 512 gigabytes, you're looking at $98.99, and for the 1 terabyte capacity version of it, you're looking at $149.99, and that can be found on Newegg.com. All right, so
let me ask you, what's the difference? Because I think a lot of people don't really understand solid state drives. I think they know hard drives, they know flash drives, but what makes the solid state drive better than all these other devices?
So the major difference, before solid state drive was even a thing, right? We relayed for the longest time we were on the HDD, the hard drives, and oftentimes you were, if you ever had gotten into conversation with your more tech savvy buddies, they always talk about the RPM of it, and so essentially you're comparing a drive that runs on the chip and the other one that runs on a literal disk that spins to read and write your data. And then so that's so the major difference is solid state drive, it not only is it faster, is it capable of being faster, it also has a way longer lifespan compared to a hard drive. Because what happens with a hard drive is the more you spin, just, for example, your wheel, when you're spinning, when you're smoking your tires, it get hot. So when it get hot, over time, what happens is it burns the interior. Over time, it kind of melts it, it damages it. There's a wear on it. Mm-hmm. So eventually, like you're looking, the more you use it, the more it's running. The more tasks, like the more tasks that you run onto it, essentially you're looking at a lesser lifespan the more you use it. But whereas solid state drive doesn't really face that same problem, because it simply does not reach that type of heat when you are using it, even when you're processing a lot of stuff on your laptop or on your desktop.
With the hard drives, because I just had 2 external hard drives that go out. If your hard drive goes out, do you have any type of warranty for data recovery? Or is what happens if your product goes out? And I think as we were talking in your chat room today, there was other companies where major companies, their products weren't as reliable as, some of the other ones. We understand normal wear and tear. We understand drops. But I mean, is there any type of warranty with this product? Okay,
so with these products, it comes with, a 3-year warranty. And the 3-year warranty, obviously there's limitations to it. So, we don't want to have people think, oh, it doesn't matter what happens to it. We will, we'll refund you, or we will give you we'll give you a replacement. But so there are limitations to it. For example, if the products, it happens with anything that's being mass produced, there's always going to be that 1 or 2 out of the 1,000 that's going to be faulty. So if it arrives, you purchased it on the first day, you plug into a computer and it doesn't read, it doesn't boot, it doesn't do anything, then, all you have to do, even though it is a hassle, obviously, whenever you have to go through the steps just to get something that was supposed to be working in the first place, but you just have to, contact our customer support. And then, so with our products, you can find it either on the quick start guide, or you can find it on the user manual, which should be available on the website, or you can just contact us, directly. You have my email today. You can, if you have any further questions, you can contact me about it. But so when in the case of a faulty unit, we 100% we will replace it, or we will credit the person. So we will return. Basically do a full refund on the product.
So, I guess my next question is, why should somebody buy a solid state drive? Because, like I said, remember, a lot of people are at home. They don't understand the difference between solid state drives. They don't understand the difference from hard drives. Why should somebody go with solid state drives?
All right, so we're coming to a day and age where technology is literally at our fingertips. Compared to even just 5 years ago, we have progressed so much. Just every 5 years we're looking at tremendous improvement in terms of technology. And so what's going on right now is the average consumer now compared to the average consumer 5 years ago, we're looking at very different needs and specs when it comes to anything, any technology, any electronics. So, for example, if you're still on hard drive, which is still relevant, hard drives are still very relevant, but why? The question here is why do we go for solid state drives rather than a hard drive? Is simply because it's once again, I want to go back on the matter of the lifespan on the products.
You got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. We're looking at a product, that are that's going to last you longer. That's going to have a better performance, and the best part is you're really not looking at that much of a difference in terms of pricing compared to a hard drive, the traditional hard drive. Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, I didn't see any questions for solid state drives. but we're going to find a way to do a giveaway maybe at a later time and date, or maybe we can bring you back.
Hold on 1 second, though, Corey, because there was actually a question in terms of some of those distribution channels. And Corey, you were talking about where it was available, and I just wanted to see, some of these big box brand names, right? So something like a Walmart or a Best Buy, or your product's going to be available there as well?
Okay, so for HP, obviously down the line, we're looking to pursue after different retailers, and then brick and mortar stores, like for example Best Buy, Walmart's, Target, so and so on. But for now, especially given with the situation we're in that during the pandemic, it's a lot easier. I understand not everybody's comfortable with online shopping just yet, but it's a lot easier to access all these resources online right now. So for my recommendation would be potentially even Costco was an option to it, actually. Like I said, for P500 you would get the best price at Costco at $10 cheaper. It's they do want to be a little bit competitive with the pricing. So and as for the P700, unfortunately you will not be able to find it at Costco, but you will definitely be able to find it on newegg.com, and you'll be able to see all 3 capacities.
All right, so if anybody's interested, what's your email address real quick so we can get it on the screen?
It's carter.wang, W-A-N-G, @bywintech.com.
All right, so if anybody's interested, I see that there's people that's dropping in and out of the stream. So if anyone is interested that watches the replay, feel free to shoot Carter email, or feel free to go to their website, bywintech.com. And like I said, solid state drives is the new technology. As Brian Wallace has said, solid state is everything. So thank you so much. Hey, we got to give him that comment. Put that comment up there, James. Can you put it up there real quick?
Bye.
Let me stop laughing first, because I put it up there, but that is true. That is
it is everything. Carter, thank you so much. We will follow up with you again before the end of Q1, so we can do something more in depth with you on the lab. We do this show every Wednesday, so I'm pretty sure we can find time to get you in, and you can talk more about this as well. Right?
And then so because I don't think I will be able to stay until the end of this. So like we agreed upon, there will be a giveaway that we're still trying to figure out how are going to do it. But then we don't have much time here. But I will be in contact with Corey, and we're looking for.
No one knows my government.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Not the government.
I'm extremely sorry. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, but yeah.
All right. We'll maybe we'll hold off until we bring you back on to where you have more time. How about that?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. I look forward to talking with you real soon. Thank you so much for coming on, and enjoy the rest of your CES, man.
All right, you too.
All right.
See ya.
If you don't mind, can you drop out? Not trying to be rude. We have other people that are trying to join in the room.
So, are you trying to say that this is the happening place to be for a roundup of CES?
Hey, man. I'm just trying to show love to everybody. That's all I'm trying to do. Carter, thank you so much for stopping in. We'll follow up before the end of Q1. All right.
Really quick, James. Though I don't know about you, but as a photographer and amateur videographer, solid state drives are everything.
I'm gonna get T-shirts made off of T-shirts for us.
You know what? Hey, I think that could be our product: T-shirts and hats. Solid state drive. Solid state for everything. That's it right there. All right. So who's next? Who do we have? I think we had Corey that came in, and Corey is, if I'm correct, let me see. He has the air purifier, and it's called Clean Air Zone. And if I'm correct, he's based out of New York. Am I right?
You got it. Yeah.
All right. I got my Falcons. I don't know about your Giants or your Jets.
Oh, there you go.
Even though we had a horrible year, it is what it is. But
we degrade as we go further down the show. It gets more and more personal as it goes further down the show.
Bear with James. He's on the West Coast. He has no idea what he's talking about. All right, man. You got 10 minutes on the clock to talk all about Clean Air Zone.
All right. I'll try not to bore you. So I work in the research and development department for Clean Air Zone, and we design green air purification technologies. So I work with a great crew. We've got a bunch of guys and gals, engineers, scientists, biologists, award-winning industrial designers and technicians. And so what we did is we essentially took a step back. Obviously, the world's changed overnight. One of you guys alluded to it that, hey, masks aren't going away. We're now aware of air. We are so aware of air quality. We wear filters on our face now. So that's not going away. So what is going to happen is we are going to have a new normal. And that new normal is going to include air purification. It's going to be at our homes. It's going to be at work. It's going to be in our bedrooms. It's going to be in public places. So we're seeing the market flooded with a ton of tech, some old stuff, some new stuff. And what we did, though, is we took a completely different approach. So our technology is fundamentally different than everything out there. So we're actually not bringing you something new. We're actually bringing you something quite old. So we took a step back. We said, how has nature been cleaning the earth for billions of years while we're out there trying to invent a way to purify the air? And so what we found is that it does a really good job. There's two primary ways that we identified that it does an excellent job. And the first thing it does is it captures pollution. Now, how does the environment capture pollution? Falling water, rain, waterfalls. Falling water has several mechanisms that allow it to grab, capture pollution, hold it, and take it right out of the air. So that was step one. Step two is that it has biology, live active enzymes that go to work at digesting and breaking down the pollution. It's absolutely magnificent how powerful it is. We don't even have to invent anything or do anything. So all we did is we took these two mechanisms that happen in nature and we said, how can we bring that inside? How can we bring nature into our homes and start purifying the air? And so we essentially developed a machine, a purifier, that uses running water on the inside, and we force the interaction with the air by cycling it through this falling water. We pull out the contamination, it goes into the solution, and then after that, we have a live biology enzyme that goes to work, just starts digesting it and breaking it down. So it's a capture and destroy technology. There's no filters to change. There's no UV bulbs that contain mercury that go into the landfill. You literally just add the solution every 4 months, and once a year, dump out some of the built-up sludge in the bottom. It's that simple.
Now, my question is, how much does it cost?
Okay, cost is MSRP is going to be $1,495.
That's a lot of money, man.
You can't put a price on good air and clean health, though, really.
There you go.
Hold on. Let's pause right there, right? Because again, there's the value, right? So yeah, we talk about all these things, and you're willing to spend. I'm going off on a tangent now. I'm sorry. You're willing to spend $1,000 for a phone or for whatever the case may be, but that point that you just made right there, man, right? How much are you willing to spend for clean air and a healthy living environment?
Exactly.
That's an interesting point that you make there. So,
all right. So can we see the product? How tall is it? Because that was one of my questions that I wanted to know.
Sure.
I think I see it right behind me. Right behind you. So do you mind?
Yeah, want me to go grab it? Bring it over?
Yeah, bring it
wow.
on.
All right.
Hey, look, you got 6 minutes. The show is yours, baby.
Live demo.
I was waiting to turn around just like this.
He's got the actual product.
So it's about the size of the doorknob, the size of no disrespect, but about the size of a trash can.
Not too, but
it's not trash though. It's clean air. It produces clean air. So my question for you is, who is this designed for? Is it designed for consumers? Is designed for corporations? Who is it designed for?
All of the above. So when we designed this, we wanted it to be easy for the average consumer to use. We simplified the controller interface. We made it super simple to maintain, so you don't need tools even to change parts. If a fan goes down the road, that's easy to replace. If a pump goes, there's only two components with moving parts, so very, very simple on the inside. We do have it designed so that you can direct plumb it in or add the water manually. So
that's a good point. Okay.
Yeah, if it's going into an office, and let's face it, it's back in the days where everybody had bottled water, nobody wanted to change the bottle of water. So we try to take that issue off the table and just make it super simple. Just plug it in and breathe the air.
Now, I think it's Hit the Spot 1006 says, does it come in different colors? I posed all this yesterday.
But you're noticing, right? So again, you thought maybe that this was going to be a conversation that maybe didn't resonate, but you're noticing that you're getting all of the engagement from the audience right now, really contemplating something like this. So again, it's a price versus cost thing. Yeah, you told us how much the dollar value is, or the dollar amount is, but you've got relevant questions coming in now, looking at this technology of how many does it come in and match to the core of my house, right? Tammy will probably want it in red to match with her kitchen appliances. I know, but talk to us about that.
Guys, this is a novel technology. This is new to the market. So to keep things simple, it comes in one color. It's a beautiful design. It's kind of like Henry Ford. You can have any color you want as long as it's the white and black model that we have here before us. So we just had to keep it simple this year. And who knows, maybe we'll bring out some other color schemes down the road.
Now,
in terms of square footage, what is this the one size fits all, or are you able to, I guess in the future, will there be smaller ones for a smaller square footage?
Yeah, absolutely. So the beautiful thing about this technology is it's 100% scalable. So right now, this 100 series model is what we're launching. It covers up to 1,200 square feet. So that covers a pretty good area. We do have some demand for smaller models that you can put on your desk at work. That's in the pipeline. Currently, we do have some larger models that are more for industrial and commercial applications. They're a lot larger. They're not as pretty, but they get the job done. They're an absolute workhorse.
In regards to spend point, I literally did the math, and I said $14.95 divided by 12. That's $124.58 a month. So, I mean, when you start to think about $124.58, that is the size. That's what you pay for your cell phone bill. That's probably, a couple of those programs, James, that you're trying to get rid of. That you said that, hey, we need to cut back on some of our Hulu and our Netflix and all of that.
Why are you putting my business all in the streets like that, right?
It's 2021, man. I mean, we're letting some stuff go and we're bringing some new stuff in.
Okay.
And I think it's all about the clean air.
We're recording, right? And now you're just talking about all my little. What's the new one that I just got? The Discovery Plus. I got that. Well, I'm deviating again, but yeah, I got Discovery Plus now too.
Yeah, and let's
now let me ask you, because this was brought up. Is this just a straight standalone system and you put water in it? Because I think you can connect it to your water line or something like that.
Yeah, so you have the option. It can be plumbed in. The installation is super simple. If you've ever seen the way these plumbed in water filtration coolers are hooked up, it's just a small little line. It's run the same way the cable guy hooks up your cable. Easy installation and very minimal. So it can be done that way. Or if you want to go ahead and do a manual fill, just like watering the plants every now and then, that type of activity, it's as simple as that. It does have onboard monitoring. So if the water level gets low, it's going to tell you. Nice. If there's an issue with a component, it does diagnostics, it's going to alert you. And it even has a Wi-Fi built-in module that'll send us an alert, and we'll reach out to the customer and let them know, hey, something's wrong.
Nice. So you got 30 seconds. Tell us. It says great. You can use your water. 30 seconds. Tell us why somebody should purchase.
Look, what we're filtering out with this machine, we're filtering super fine particles, 0.0001. We're taking care of viruses, bacteria, molds, things that you would normally need 2 or 3 or 4 different technologies. We're getting it all with one technology. It's environmentally friendly. It is cost effective if you do the math on it. And you're getting good quality air, and you're not going to get this quality of filtration out of any one unit out there.
I like it.
All right. And where can they find it?
We will be going through some distribution channels. We haven't released those distribution channels to the public yet, but follow us online. Check us out on LinkedIn or get added onto the newsletter. We'll keep you up to date on that.
And if anyone wants to email you or wants to reach out to you personally, if they watch the replay, what do they need to do?
Email me direct at Corey, Corey, at caz.us. And like I say, just go to our website, get yourself in the newsletter. We'll send you the updates.
And lastly, was there any show specials, or that's just the price?
That's the price they gave me.
Nice.
Right on time.
I mean, the messenger. You know what? We're following in line with the messenger. That's good stuff, man.
That's good, man. Thank you so much,
Great.
Corey, for your time, man. Hopefully you enjoyed the lab. Hopefully we can get you back on before the end of Q1 as well, okay?
Would love it. Thanks, guys. Bye now.
All right, man. Thank you, man. All right. I think the next one that's up. So what'd you think so far? I mean, anything that stands out before we bring on our next guest? Anything that stands out?
I think so far everything that I've seen is probably some stuff that I would probably get. You know, like the solid state drive, like we got like 4 air filters going on in our house right now. We can get one that'll knock everything out. That'd be great. It's almost like a humidifier throws water in the air and vacuums it out. I like that. You know, those are things that we normally would get in our household.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What about you, James?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just again noticing the trend of the year, right? Again, it's looking out for kind of mind, body, and soul, and mind, body, spirit, and also fitness as always. But so folks are looking at making sure that you're healthy. Folks are making sure that elders are healthy, so the fall detection, things like that. We've got some other things that are coming up in a minute about, again, that mental health. So I think that's kind of one thing that's how I'm actually looking at what Max is going to talk about. I'm selfish because that's how I'm looking at that, keeping the mind engaged. But that's really where it is. And I see these products being successful. I see these products, again, being in the Best Buys, being in the RC Bullies of the world. I had to think of some other companies, the Microsofts and all of that, where consumers will actually I see more consumers purchasing these than an 8K television.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
wow.
Yeah, 8K TV, that's just too much. That's a want versus a need. 3D TVs, yeah, they were great when we saw them 4 or 5 years ago, but did they really take off? They didn't take off. Will you go out there and get something to clean your air?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Will you go out there and get something so that your grandmother, your mother, your father-in-law, whatever, who's over 70, 80 years old, living alone, when they fall down, someone knows about it and can help them?
That's right.
Kind of.
Yes, you will.
A little bit more effective this year than dancing robots. I'm just saying, right? Every year for the past 10 years that we've seen dancing robots. Yeah, they're cool, they're fun, they're nice, but this is the stuff that really resonates, I think, with the consumer. So,
especially for this day and age now, with the COVIDs and the stay home stuff. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, you tell me. It wasn't a thought when it was out of your mind. You don't think about you saw a zombie apocalypse, but you
yeah,
go to CES and say, oh, what's the next gadget? What's the newest things? But I think these are relevant times, and the stuff that they're putting out there now are relevant to today, the things that are going on today. So yeah.
Speaking of relevant, we're going to bring in our next guest. His name is Mr. Max Flynn from WOWCube. Remember Rubik's Cube? Well, think digital. Because he has a one-of-a-kind device in the shape of a cube made of 8 connected cubicle modules that allow you to interact with the digital world like a real object. Think Pac-Man in a Rubik's Cube, and you're trying to put it all together. I saw his demo, and I was like, wow, that's different. So, Max, you have 10 minutes. The clock is now starting now.
Max, actually, first of all, he just sold it. You need to get Tallboy on the PR team, or because that right there, he just brought you on stage like Steve Harvey from King's. You can't buy that. You got to get that on the payroll.
All right. So hey everyone, my name is Filin, CEO and co-founder of Cubus Incorporated. What I have here is the device that looks like a Rubik's Cube 2x2, but instead of being solid color, it covered with 24 high-resolution screens. The icons you can see here are different games or applications. We have pretty many pre-installed in the Cube. We have the application you can download for using the iOS or Android, upload it to your Cube. Let me show you several just to understand how it works. Some of them to understand the concept. So here's say if I want to start the butterfly game, I choose the butterfly game and tap it. Come on. Hey, it's.
Oh, you got a little live demo.
Sorry about that. So this is the kind of logical game where you need to find the wings of the butterflies and assemble them to one butterfly. Of course, the first level is pretty easy because we just have one here. Once you do, it goes alive. You see the score, and one more move, you go to another level. We have different games. We have logical games. We have, if I shake it, it goes back to the main menu. So we have sensors. It understands when you tilt it, then you twist it, or you shake it. So what is it for? Of course, mostly it's for gaming. And in modern world, kids like play games. They're staring in the flat screen on the device, holding it close to their eyes, and staring in one point. That entire surface is a screen. So you're acting both in physical and virtual realities, interacting with the objects. And in the same time, it's designed to hold it far from your eyes, on your arm's distance, because you need to always think in 3 dimensions. Like we have, let me show you one of the most interesting arcade game made by our team. We create hardware. We also create the SDK, so you can download the software development kit and create your own applications and games and upload to our app store and to allow users to play with it. So here we have the ladybug going on the past, and you need to collect all these berries, small berries, and you with your real hand, you change the shape of the device, shape of the screen, and you build the path for the ladybug. Okay, but it's not only for gaming. When you're not playing it, then you're not playing your WOWCube. You can put it on the charging dock station that you have in the box. This kind of charging dock station. Oh, the game is over. And it turns to it's connected to your smartphone using Bluetooth protocol. So you can basically use each of these screens as you want. You can show the Instagram pictures of your family. It turns to a digital photo frame. Weather in Los Angeles, time in Moscow. It can show the any other information. We have this application with widgets. You can launch this application. Let me launch it for you. Oh, I don't know. It just works. Okay, it doesn't matter. So we have application with a night lamp. Then you put it on your nightstand if your child afraid to sleep in dark, and it turns to a lava lamp. Oh yeah, finally. Here is the widget application. See, you can show any information. It's going to be like...
Put him on the main screen, James. Put him on the main screen.
This is the widget mode, and it stands near your PC while you're not playing. It shows the information that you want. Again, if your child afraid to sleep in dark, you can start the, say, lava lamp application, and it turns to the smart night lamp. You can change the different modes. It even can play music. It's got 8 speakers inside the cube. But what's most interesting, because this is a tech channel, I'll show you some magic. Here's the game where you need to roll the ball around the surface of the cube. But as I said, we create the operation system that supports integrity of those modules. So they are absolutely independent.
Wow.
So if I have ball here, for example, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I see the ball here. I put any of other modules, connect them, and roll the ball to this one. And again, and roll the ball here. See?
Okay, now we have the aha moment. Yeah, there you go. There. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
So we made the hardware, we made the operation system, we made the SDK. People can download it and make games and apps for the cube themselves.
So my question is, can they upload any game, or do you already have games that are already financially? You already have some free games already installed or on your website that they can download, but
yeah,
can they create their own game, or how does that work?
Okay.
That's a great question. Because the entire surface of the cube is a screen, there is nothing like this. You cannot just port the game from the flat screen device. If you do that, you will play it just on one side, right? So here we have the metrics, like if you see the ball or if you see the Pac-Man or someone goes through the cube, so you need to use, we have about 15 games ready, about 20 almost available in production, and we have the software emulator. Everyone can download it and download the software emulator, see the cube on his laptop, and code the game for the cube and put to our store. And as well,
With this being digital, how do you charge it? Because I see that there's lights. Like, how do you keep it charged, and what's the charge time for?
Here's the charging dock station. Then you put the cube on it. It just goes in the middle, any side of the cube. You just put it on the charging dock station.
Put it on the charger, and what's the charge? What's the life, or how long does it take to charge?
It takes about 2 hours to charge it to the full. The gameplay for the cube guaranteed about 5 hours. We have the calculated time about 8 hours, so 5 is for sure.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. Now everyone's gonna want to know, how much does this cost? What's the retail price?
We go into the market with everything pre-installed, with the games in the cube, with the charging dock station. The full set will be $249 in this year, with the games wherever. But with time approaching the console model, then you play the device and you can buy the games or subscribe for the full store. We significantly decrease the price for hardware.
So will the games be separate? A separate fee?
It's easy to understand if we compare with the console market model. When you have some pre-installed games, you can play them. If you want more, if someone create another game, you can buy it on the app store or subscribe for the whole set and unlimited access to the store.
Yeah.
Where can someone purchase this if they're interested?
Could you repeat, please?
I said, where can someone purchase this product if they're interested?
www.wowcube.com. You can leave your pre-order there. You can leave the email, and we will notify you, and it will be available to buy it.
And if anybody's interested in getting in contact with you directly, you have an email address real quick?
Sure. max@wowcube.com. You can feel free to ask me any questions.
Just MAX, right? MAX?
MAX, that's simple, yes.
All right. So anybody, if you got 30 seconds, Max, tell us why should someone purchase this product?
Of course. Kids will play game, period. If you take the smartphone away from your kid, what should you give instead? So give them the same interesting as video games toy, but that literally makes them smarter, because it's same developing your cognitive and motor skills as the classical puzzles or brain teasers. The best equilibrium of video games and puzzles in one magic toy.
Sounds good. Yeah. I will see if we can get you back on before the end of Q1. Our show is every Wednesday here at the lab. I think that someone said, how much is shipping?
$250 will include shipping.
Yeah.
Oh.
So along those lines, I have some questions as well. So, looking at the site, and you've got mention of a game card and screen protectors. I think that's an interesting thing to put in place as well, to make known. So is that $50 game card option that you have, is that kind of a reduced charge for some of the games that are in your app store?
Sorry, I didn't get the game card.
So you've got an option, the $249 for the WOWCube system itself on the site, and then you got $289 for the WOW card.
No. Wait, we go into the market with $249 period. That's
okay. So these options that you see it on the website, really, those are, disregard those and just go with the actual $249.
It will be available way later. Now it's $250.
That's good to know, right? Because again, we didn't want to have any confusion in terms of when folks actually logged on. But so
it will maybe available to buy this kind of, we have some accessories. You see the boxes, the carry case, and even this. People always ask me, it's for kids, not only for adults.
Yeah.
So we have many skill games, very difficult logical games, but mostly for kids, of course. And what if they broke it? What if they drop it? Mm-hmm. Although it have the tempered glass H7, it's quite difficult to break it. But anyway, everything can be broken. So we made the special accessories, those pads that you can stick on the corners like this, silicone pads, and it's make it even more durable. Prevention.
That's nice.
They can different colors. Huh?
And that comes with the 249 as well.
No, 249 without this. It's exactly what I'm trying to say. That 249 with a full set beside these accessories. These accessories will be separate. All others, charging dock station, cube in the box with a, by the way, with a $30 card included inside the $30 gift card for the apps, for the future apps from the store will be included in the box in this 249.
Sounds
Well,
good.
that's good to know. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Max, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. It's called WOWCube. Tease
Thanks, guys.
or make your kids use their brain. You could use your brain, James. Get them off the gaming this year and make them use a WOWCube. All right.
I think it's genius. That's nice.
Someone says they like the accessories. All right, Max. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. We're trying to get you on, and hopefully we'll get a chance to, link up at a later time, and maybe we can do a James might want to do a review on this thing right here. You never know. So
let me know where to send it. You see this bunch of boxes for the media.
You know my address already, sir. We'll talk about that.
We'll get you back on real soon, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Max.
Take care.
All right, what do you guys think?
I like that a lot. I like that. It's one of those games you have to actually use your brain. It's like a puzzle game, just like the Rubik's Cube. I like it.
All right. Well, we're going to bring our next person on because I know people are like, I love the tech, but some people don't like looking at computer screens, and some people are jumping on, some people are jumping off. So hopefully people will stay on board because we have our next person, Ethan from Fledging. And if I'm correct, it's premium electronics for everyone. It's a Hubble for iPad.
Don't see Corey.
I know he did not say iPad.
See, there.
No, he did not say iPad.
So it's already a hostile environment with him. But don't worry, he gets one right now.
Oh gosh, well I can eject out of here if I need to. Just let me know.
No, see, Ethan, here's the problem.
I was literally waiting for the reaction.
That's team iOS at the bottom. I'm team Droid at the top. I mean, we literally fight over. We literally did a whole show, iOS versus Android, and he lost.
I can see it.
That's why he's personally sent you this invite. He had to get an iPad. He had to get an Ethan, the floor is yours. You have 10 minutes.
Well, James, I will do everything I can to make it right for iOS. So let me get in there. First of all, I appreciate you saying it right. Fledging is what we are. A lot of people go with fledgling. We're actually trying to win the Google battle against Merriam-Webster right now, so that helps a little bit. So we are a consumer electronics startup here in Birmingham, Alabama, which is, of course, the most natural place in the world for consumer electronics.
Before you brother, I just want to say one thing. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Hey, Roll Tide. We agree on that.
Man, this environment just got a lot better. I love it.
There you go. Go ahead now.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, what we built is Hubble for iPad. What we looked at was the iPad Pro, the USB-C series from 2018 to 2020, and then we timed it really well with the new iPad Air. And what we realized is there's a lot of hubs in the world. You can go online right now and search for USB-C hub, and there's going to be pages and pages and pages of hubs, and they're all pretty good. They work okay. Some of them, they'll wear out that USB-C port. Some of them wear out your battery. Some of them, the ports aren't great, but hey, they do an okay job. And then there's a bunch of cases in the world. There's cases, hard shell cases, leather cases, plastic cases, all kinds of stuff. The thing that's always driven me nuts about cases is the iPad looks really cool. It feels good. It looks good, especially now, you got the space gray. It looks awesome. And then people hide that inside a case. And that just drives us up a wall. So what we wanted to do was build an accessory that combines a hub and a case, and it really makes a super tablet out of your iPad. That's what we think we've done with Hubble. So you can see here, we got the iPad in there. This is the 2020 Air. And actually, the outside material looks and feels just like the iPad. There's really no difference other than we got the cutout. Got the hole for the camera, got the magnetic cover, kind of everything you expect. And what we've done is really just integrated the whole thing. You can see it doesn't really add a lot. It's about 1/8 of an inch to the total height. It's about 1 inch to the total length, which actually provides a good little handle for you. We're actually shooting the video for Hubble for the Kickstarter campaign back in October, and we gave a Hubble to one of the guys on set, and he proceeded to use it in his Pro for the entire shoot while he was working on it for Hubble. So that was pretty cool. But what we've tried to do ultimately is just give you everything you need in one spot. You don't want to go shop for a hub. You don't want to shop for a case. You know, a lot of people these days, they're using iPads in place of computers. They're using them as basically giant phones. They're carrying them everywhere. And we just see a lot of stuff that doesn't work, so we wanted to make something that does. A couple of quick features just to run down. Other than the aluminum case, it's got the full Apple Pencil support, just magnetically attaches there. I'd show you my Apple Pencil, but my dog was chewing on it this morning, so I'm not going to show that off. And then for the hub on the bottom, don't know if y'all can see that, but you got the
Nice.
3.5 mil audio jack, got the 4K 60 hertz HDMI, got SD and micro SD for the photographers who want to edit in the field, got USB-A or USB 3.1, depending on what you go with, got USB-C, that's 30-watt charging, and then USB-C for data. And then my light's kind of blind in and out, but this for us is one of the coolest things. It's an on-off switch. And as small as that sounds, if you've ever used one of these hubs, they will wear your battery out. You look up, you've left it in, and suddenly your battery's dead after 12 hours. So we built that in there so that you can cut it off, turn it on and off just whenever you want to use it. So that's it in a nutshell.
You say that, right? And I mean, you've got a lot right there, right? You bring up some the ports that are necessary. I literally just 2 days ago bought extension cables for my iPad to run this monitor. You see running behind me. I didn't need that if I known about it ahead of time. But having that HDMI, being able to, again, when we're out, if we would again get to go out to a CES or an event, have our cameras and be able to move that content to our iPad or to do the processing on the spot as opposed to going back to our laptop. That's incredibly functional. That's incredibly valuable. And then, like you say, being able to turn the thing off so it doesn't drain the battery. Look, that's one of those commonsensical type of things that we would think about once we've had it for a couple of hours and wish it was there. But the fact that it's there, you literally have kind of thought of darn near everything. We've got a question here in terms of the types of, I would doubt you would have a zipper type of case that you bring to the market, right? But
no, it's everything you see here with the case and the cover. That is the entire experience for us right now.
That's really nice.
For the Android folks in the room, I will put this question up there, not to be mean, but we will at least ask that. But moving forward, right, from a roadmap perspective, Ethan, do you have plans of integrating some Android tablets as well into your ecosystem?
Absolutely, yeah. We started with Apple products. Our first product, Feather SSD, it's a solid state drive upgrade for Apple, but we're not bound to Apple at all. Actually, our second product, Shell Thunder, it's a Thunderbolt 3 SSD enclosure. It's got nothing to do with Apple. Okay. So we got into this space with hubs, and we don't even really want to call it a hub. I haven't come up with a catchy name yet. But we got into this space. We want to try it out, see how it goes with the iPad, maybe expand it to some more iPad models, and then jump on over into other ecosystems and see. We see these same challenges the iPad has in a bunch of ecosystems.
Wow.
Eric, would you would probably use it because again, I'm thinking about you from a photography perspective, right? You're out there on a shoot. You've got all these files, all these raw files, and being able to easily fire up Adobe or something.
Get extra badges. Exactly. I like it a lot because I don't have to. I mean, I have an SD drive, of course, to keep a lot of my images, but the things that I want to work on, I want to be able to just take that card out of the camera, pop it into the the Pro, and then kind of edit it at things that I want to go ahead and put out there right away.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. I think that is just, man, I love technology.
This is our week for sure. Which iPad models currently do you support? Is it just the Pro or is it also the Air?
So it's the Pro 2018 through 2020 with USB, and then it's the brand new iPad Air 2020 with USB-C.
Okay.
And we support both sizes for the Pro and, of course, the one size for the Air.
What's the retail price for this for the iPhone or iOS lovers?
It's a lot cheaper than an iPhone. The smaller version, that's for the Pro 11-inch, and the Air 10.9-inch is $100, and the larger version, the 12.9-inch, is $110.
That is nice. See?
So I guess I would ask this again. So we're just taking you over right now because these are Apple products. But where right now are these going to be? Tim Cook going to let you in his store?
You know, we don't have those connections yet, but if y'all can introduce this to Tim Cook, he is an Auburn guy. So.
Names, right? I'm dropping names. I gave the company 8 years of my life, so I know some names, but I don't have those type of connections.
Yeah, he's an Auburn guy too, so we'll see what he says when I call. But
nice.
Yeah.
So right now on the site,
Fledging. Yeah, it's live on fledging.net right now. We've been selling them this week. This is our commercial launch through CES. We did a small Kickstarter in November just to get some attention, see what people thought. Went reasonably well, but we are commercially live right now. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. International, let's have a chat. I can't get into all that with every country. And then we do have a big Amazon presence for our products, but we do not have this available on Amazon quite yet.
Okay.
So what does that mean, right? Because again, if I go to Amazon and search for it, I'm sure I'll see. What does that mean? I don't want to.
Yeah, so we have our listing live. We haven't set it up for Prime yet, just because of how that works. You got to maintain a whole offsite inventory, and it's a whole thing. And then with USPS delays, we've backed away a little from the Amazon store. They're chomping down on sellers hard for the USPS delays.
Wow.
Yep. But it's on fledging.net all day, every day. You can reach out to me personally if you want to chat more about it too. I love talking about the thing, so I'm happy to chat.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that the two at the bottom of this screen will be out there trying to figure out, hey, can you add this? Can you add that? You
Man,
know?
I'd love to hear it. I would love to get that feedback. We're looking for a pro version one day.
Hey, look, both of those guys are Team iOS. So, yes. Look, see, they're all modest. Look, they're licking their lips. I mean, I feel like
I'm looking for my credit card right now, to be honest with you. I'm going to take myself off screen.
Right now, man.
No, I appreciate your time.
So let me ask you real quick. Why should somebody purchase this? I'm asking everyone the same question. What makes this so special? Why they should buy it? Could be a great Christmas gift. Could be a great Valentine's Day gift. Could be a great birthday gift. Why should someone purchase or make this purchase?
Yeah, absolutely. iPads are great. Love the technology. It's beautiful. It's got one port, and it's super fragile. Don't know if y'all have seen the videos of someone just bending an iPad in half, but it's real easy. So with Hubble, you can connect to whatever you want. You can protect your iPad, and you can do it all in style. That's all the reasons we could think of, but we feel like that's good enough.
It is.
Awesome.
You guys got any questions? He's got 10 seconds before the buzzer goes off.
Good.
I think they covered all the bases. I think it's there it goes, the email. That's what I was looking for.
Perfect. Well, appreciate the time today, guys. We're all tired.
I appreciate it.
Fledging.net. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to Ethan personally if you guys are watching the replay. Thank you guys for everyone that's joined and commented. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, fledging.net, it's a Kickstarter. So, I mean, this is entrepreneurship at its finest. So before I let you go, why did you guys make this? Like you as individually, you and your team?
It's what we love to do. You know, we look at ecosystems that are good, but there's just something missing from it. And we go in and try that in, whether that's an SSD upgrade or a Thunderbolt 3 enclosure or Hubble here. You know, the iPad's cool. You add a Hubble to it, and it takes it to a whole other level. And that's the product we try and make.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to extend the invite out to you. We do this every Wednesday. Got to get you in before the end of Q1. So James will definitely be calling Eric to say, hey, we got to get you back in to go more in depth outside of 10 minutes. So I extend the invite. It's Android love over here because eventually you're going to do something for Android, and I'm going to be personally humbled when you say, hey, I got an Android device. So
I'm coming to you first.
And I look forward to seeing you again later on this year, okay?
Hey, listen, I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
All good. All right. So you iOS folks, you know, James had to sneak that one in. I didn't see that one coming.
Android sucks.
Oh my! Hey, you know what? I'm just I am moderating comments.
Go
but-
watch one of our previous
but
shows.
that
That's all I'm gonna say. Go back to one of our previous shows. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. You do what you want to do. You say what you want to say. So.
But in all seriousness, right? I bring it up because, and I want Ethan to talk. Again, we've seen a lot of different cases. We've seen a lot of different accessories for mobile devices, right? For our phones and for our tablets before that just really looked like everything else out there on the market. And the reason I want Ethan to come up, because that really does fit a need. There is a real use case for the product that he put out there, and I see value in that. And look, the price is right? It's an Apple product. It's not priced at the Apple price. So I think more and more folks will probably get something like that to provide protection and functionality.
Well, what I think that surprises me that it works for Apple, and if I'm correct, Apple uses proprietary products only. So for that to even work with Apple, I mean, that's pretty cool. I don't know too much about your ecosystem, but but for it to work, I mean, that's got to be a cool thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have to have an iOS. You can't just go on Amazon and buy a knockoff plug. You can't go off and buy the charger or the earphone. Whereas we can go to Kroger or Publix and buy a $5.99 charger. You have to go onto your actual website or to the actual Apple site and actually purchase that product. So for him to have that price point at that price and it works for Apple, I mean, I have to tip my hat to that technology there.
I'm going to use that statement in the audiogram on Instagram, because he will never admit it and he'll never say it again. But I'm going to blast out all over the place.
All right, man, we got to keep it moving. Our next person that we're going to bring on is Richard from Cutii. Don't let the name fool you, because Richard
he's not cute.
He has a companion robot for seniors that keep them connected to the outside world. And we're talking about autonomously. So that's that new technology. Remember the George Jetsons? Remember Rosie? It's a mobile and voice controlled robot, and he's going to tell you all about it. Welcome, Richard. How you doing?
Tallboy, I'm great, man. It's good to see you, James and Eric. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. And before we go on, there is actually a cutie in Pennsylvania right now that's called Rosie. They've named it Rosie, so that's one from back in the day.
We're dating ourselves now. We are
exactly. Can't help it. I do it on a daily basis, James. So listen, what we're all about is connecting seniors in the US and in France. So this was an invention from France, although I'm ringing in from Boston, MA right now. The whole point of Cutii is to connect people to other people. And it kind of just so happens to be a robot that's there. And this robot's a companion device that lives with the senior, right? And offers a whole bunch of different services. And I wonder, the best way to kind of explain it as I talk is perhaps to show a video in the background. So I don't know if I can share a screen. I've put a couple of links in the chat. Is it possible to get one of those up? I don't know.
I think the YouTube link is in the yeah.
Because picture says 1,000 words, but when it gets up, the whole, let's just stop for a second and think and realize that there's just a whole lot of loneliness going on, and we've seen the pandemic, of course, has kind of underlined this so much for all of us. And so everything that you're about to see with Cutii is specifically made for this purpose. It's to connect seniors to other people in the outside world. And Cutii just happens to be a fully autonomously mobile, voice-controlled robotic device that lives in the person's living space. And think of it kind of like the way that a Roomba knows the living space where you live. Cutii knows this.
I know about the Roomba right now. Look, Now you're talking my language. No.
Well, and I bet, James, you've developed a great relationship with your Roomba.
Yeah.
He has such a great relationship.
It is modern and stunning because before it was.
It's so great that he's named it after. He has two of them, and they're named after his kids.
Yes, I've got Isaiah cleaning downstairs. I've got Jordan cleaning upstairs. Yell at them constantly if they don't do their job effectively. So, which video would you like me to show first? The senior facility road?
Yeah, the senior facility one. Thanks, James.
Okay.
So, Cutii knows the living space. So perhaps, your mother lives in a different state here in the US, and she can say, Cutii, come to the couch, and Cutii will come to the couch. Cutii, raise your head up and down. And then just using her voice says, Cutii, ring Richard. And so I'm maybe over here in Boston, MA, and just with my laptop here, I can enjoy a live interactive experience with my mother. Because, I'm concerned we're more distant geographically than we were before. And after she has this live experience, Cutii goes back to its charging dock and waits for the next interaction. In addition, we offer live activities for the seniors.
It is modern and stunning because before it was impossible. But I say one thing, this must be the modern way.
So did the feather make you feel better?
Maybe we should mute it.
But as I have pain all over, we must do this all over.
There you go.
Cutii brings more opportunities for our residents, which is especially important in this period of COVID. And he brings a lot of entertainment for them. He also allows for more specific, tailored activities in the individual's rooms, and it helps create relationships between the resident, the caregiver in nursing homes, and the activity host who appears through Cutii. How was the call? Was it good?
Oh, it was good. It was very clear, and there were no issues.
And you could see it okay?
Yes, I saw the teacher well. The picture was good. We could have been saying silly things. Who knows?
With the robot?
Yes, with the robot.
Good stuff.
So Cutie's now live in France. It's deployed in more than 20 facilities over there right now, and on a daily basis provides live activities that seniors can enjoy from the comfort of their living environment. So these are things like Tai Chi classes, physical activities, quizzes, you name it. Are they human-sized robots? They're reasonable size. They're kind of 5 foot something tall. The head articulates up and down. It's designed to be a reasonable sized presence so that it's not a tipping risk. Of course, it's nice and heavy down low, and it's, again, designed specifically for this application. So, referencing James's dancing robots comment before, this is definitely not a dancing robot. You're not going to see Cutii taking people's orders at a restaurant. You're not going to see.
And that's specifically why I mentioned that, right? Because again, there's value and there's function in what you have there. So that.
I know very much, and Cutie's not going to be showing people to their meeting rooms or doing a funny dance when people arrive at office buildings in Japan. It's never going to be doing that stuff. What it's going to be doing is exactly what it's designed for and what it does every day in France, which is help people who are isolated. And Lord knows 2020 was a really bad year for that for a lot of people. And so we've started in the US in the last couple of months. We have devices now in Pennsylvania and in Connecticut. And our go-to-market is not directly to consumer, just to be clear. So we're going to go through channels because this is much more of an institutional device. So whether it's through home health agencies, so people who deliver care to home, this will be an option that they can offer, kind of like a bolt-on to their existing services, because they're human shops and we're not there to replace people. We're there to fill in the many, many, many lonely hours, and that's kind of what we do. But so it's home health and it's senior living. So we have devices now in senior living facilities and in individuals' homes as well.
All right, so I have a question. So with this device, can it quite naturally? It can't go up the stairs.
No.
But say someone's in the kitchen cooking, how would that Cutii be a great use case for somebody cooking, or if somebody wants to exercise? How would that Cutii be a great use case?
Yeah. So in general, the seniors, the people who are going to be using Cutii, they live most of their day within a certain footprint of their house, right? It's usually a specific living area. Maybe the kitchen's connected to it. And so Cutie's designed to know that sort of area. Again, I mean, I hate to use the Roomba analogy, but I have to. Similar to the Roomba, it knows a certain floor area of the house, and it's kind of analogous to that. And listen, what I will say is there's personal emergency response as well. So if, for example, my mum is in the kitchen and she falls over, she says, "Cutii, I need help," and Cutii responds and kicks off an emergency workflow. And that could be to the health system, so the care group, or to an individual, to a family, or both, whatever's required, So again, there's the ability of mobility such that if she calls for help and my computer rings, I can dial into Cutii, I can drive Cutii using my keyboard. So this is all functional today, and I can check it out and do a wellness check.
Second question I have, I saw this presentation earlier this week. Someone's cooking. They can actually do live cooking classes or with an actual person. Is that somebody that you program into the Cutii, and say a professional chef, they actually log on? How does that work?
Yeah, exactly. So, part of what we do, it's kind of like a two-sided market. So we've got the Cutii robot on one side. We also curate, I guess, a stable of live human beings who offer content that's of huge value for our elders in our society. So we have, for example, we've got a Tai Chi practitioner here in Massachusetts who's going to offer a class, I think, tomorrow. And she's been doing it for 20 years for seniors, bringing wellness to seniors all over Massachusetts. But now she can do it for people in Pennsylvania and people in Connecticut as well. And it's live. It's one-on-one. It's like we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So quite naturally, we got to ask, how much does this retail for?
Yes. So first thing I'll say is it's not going to be retailed to the consumer. So this is not intended to be a consumer device. Broadly, it's around $6,000 per device. And when it's in the in-home application, we'd be looking at a cost sharing model with the home health agencies themselves, where it might be, say, $50 to $75 a week, and it's full-time, all services wrapped in.
And so, who is your target audience, or who is it that you're looking for to purchase this?
We'd love to connect with home health agencies, and there are some big names all around the states, and senior living facilities, senior living operators in the US.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's exactly, Eric. I was pointing towards you, actually thinking about that, right? So from an insurance perspective, right? Are there maybe, so Richard, would there be subsidies and things of that nature for folks?
That's I mean, you don't have to travel far in the US health system before someone asks the dreaded insurance word. And that's one of the cultural differences between here and Europe, as you know. So yeah, obviously we want to be reimbursed, but frankly, the road to reimbursement is a long and winding road. And so our initial go-to-market in the States will not be relying on reimbursement necessarily.
Real quickly, before we let you go, say someone is a chef, or say someone is an instructor, how would they be able to offer their services to the Cutii for the people that are in? How would that work?
Yeah, Tallboy, great question. So that's all the time we're after the people to provide the rich content, the rich live activities, and they can go to cutii.io/en and they can get in touch with us, because that's the sort of thing we're looking for.
Okay.
So if you know anyone who can talk out there.
What's your email address? Because people may be watching the replay. People may know somebody that's affiliated with the home health care facility or company. How can they reach you directly?
Yeah, indeed. So it's rmarshall, RMARSHALL @cutii.io. So it's the same end of the email as the website there.
All right, James is cheating. He or he's gotten lazy on me as we've gotten into this. He didn't type in all your.
I am definitely multitasking, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know,
I can tell.
It's a lab, baby. This is what we do. So, but thank you, Mr. Marshall. I enjoyed your presentation earlier this week, and I'm glad we were able to get you in to, you know, man, I'm getting tongue tied. I'm glad you were able to come in and showcase your product. And it says, what type of software does it operate on?
Oh, we built it's on a proprietary stack, so for reasons of privacy, you know, we're never going to sell our data to those big companies who shall not be named. This is completely built from bottom up, separate from you know who and you know who.
Right, and it'll recharge, right? I guess when it's not in use, it'll go back home similar to
the like a Roomba. It's got its own docking station. There it goes.
Fantastic.
It seems like you're getting a lot of questions at the tail end, so we got to get you back in on our show every Wednesday night. We got to get you in before the end of Q1. I mean, it's CES. We're trying to get everyone in, as many people as we can, but we'll get you in on the show to where you can do a more in-depth review, and we can watch some more of the videos to go along with it as well.
It'll be an honor. Thank you.
Great
stuff. Thank you so much. You enjoy. All right, so what you think, Eric? You're quiet over there, man. You're on the show, man.
I don't want to interrupt, man. You know, I honestly, I look at it like this: from a health perspective. You know, I don't know if I told you guys. You know, we're calling in all the time because a lot of times you can just call, but if your doctor can see you and you say, "Hey, here's some of my symptoms. Here's some of whatever's going on," I mean, that's amazing. You know, and you know, it's got a built-in video so that you're talking to the doctor one-on-one. That presence, $6,000 is a lot, but like you said, if there's a shared cost, I see a great value in it. I see a great value, especially for seniors. So, but I think a household should have it. I think a household should have it. I think
if someone has that kind of money to just, I mean, the average consumer, as Richard said, does not have that kind of money to have a cutie rolling around in their house. But, some people that, are pushing 100,000, 200,000 like James, they can have something like that. So, and it's like, hey, I know your dad would probably love to have a cutie rolling around, and that could be a Christmas gift. So, we can make that happen, man. Come on, James.
Well, look,
we're talking about it's an in-home type of care, like in-home care. So I'm not saying that you're going to own it, but it's going to be something that maybe can come out of your Social Security. I don't know, or health insurance. But like I said, however that costs, helps that person or how it subsidizes. I think it's definitely a useful tool. I don't think we've seen anything that wasn't a useful tool today. So
no, I mean they're all useful tools, and I think to close out with this, I mean, remember we were all kids, and the Jetsons. This is what kind of caught my attention with this product. The Jetsons had this years ago, 30 years ago. And for us to actually see a proof of life or a proof of concept in our lifetime that says this is where technology is going. So right now we may think it's expensive, but I think over a course of time, once they start to find some bigger distributors, they'll be able to lower that cost. And I think it would be beneficial for a lot of people that need this service.
Remember, it used to be expensive to have a cell phone. It was a big block. It was and
right.
Now it's not. So
we'll all right, man. We got to bring in our next person. We got we got 3 people left, and we're gonna make this as fast as we can, but we want to give them the same equal time. And the next person that we have is Patrick. James, I think you're gonna like this one right here.
Is that right? Is this a tall boy plant? Is that no?
No. Solar. We're talking solar power here, and portable power to the people's solar meeting essential needs. So unfortunately, you had a bad situation with your vacation home, but when you rebuild. Unfortunately, and I'm humbly saying this the best way I know how, and I don't know how the words are going to come out. Patrick, you don't know this, but due to the California fires, James lost his vacation home, his home, and as he goes back and he rebuilds, when I saw this, I said, you know what, this might be a great way to, as they rebuild, to incorporate tech. And with you having solar power and some of the things that it does, I felt like personally, I wanted to extend this invite out to you where you can actually, have somebody that could possibly use this as they do be a part of their rebuild. So I when I saw it, I thought of you, James. I thought of your
don't make me cry, right? I mean, because
but
now we're hitting home, right? So
yeah,
No, not home, vacation home.
Yeah, well, kind of home, kind of home. But I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
So, Patrick, you have 10 minutes. Tell us all about your product. Tell us what you know.
Yeah, we've come up with a bunch of portable power solutions that run on solar, so we're stopping the burn. And what I have behind me is an entire solar kitchen. I can cook, cool, clean, charge, purify, light, and brew coffee. We did all of these things so that people can break from the cycle of burning and gathering ice and resupplying, refueling. Everything is very affordable, durable, runs on sunshine, 12 volt and AC, so you can use them indoors, outdoors, day or night, rain or shine. And I can show you a little bit more detail about any of them. But basically, you can cook a meal in 20 minutes without a single charcoal nugget. We can wash up here. This is we built the flow here during the COVID pandemic for sanitation purposes.
Wow.
So you've got a liter of water. Now your campsite or your backyard has everything and a kitchen sink. All of it's running on solar, and then the power is out. Whatever, we've got a nice cooler. You can control the temperature. You can store ice cream, and then a coffee brewing system all in one.
Sold.
Go for it, James.
Sold. That's it right there. Sold.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm buying right there. Sold.
Do you have one to recharge a Tesla?
Little big on that. We have some pretty cool, like similar to Tesla. The battery tech is very dense and thousands of cycles. And of course, on every car, truck, boat, or RV, we're doing a lot with that cigarette port. So we can cook with that port. We run the cooler. We brew coffee, pump water, you name it. We're bringing back the old 12 volt a little bit.
Nice.
Who's going to use that? You know who's going to use that? I am literally going to share this segment of the video with my son's scout troop.
Yeah, camping.
That's it right there, right? Because we're always at these remote locations, scouting and camping, and that is exactly what we need to sustain when we're out there on those longer expeditions. This is going to be incredibly useful, incredibly valuable. I see this a lot. This is good. This is really useful.
Yeah, you can stay out. We charge your whole off-grid life, so you can stay out longer. And off-grid starts in the backyard, but it extends to the campsite and the boat and the beach. It sounds like you're in Southern Cal, so you got plenty of sunshine. You can rely on this technology, and I've been relying on it here in Ohio. I haven't bought a bag of ice in years. Haven't bought a propane canister. I like cooking on a fire sometimes at night, so I'll still do that directly on fire. But other than that, I'll go all solar, and then our technology also integrates electricity where needed. But since you're consuming so much less power when you're in these high efficiency appliances, the amount of energy that it takes to run them is not. This is like a 20-pound bag of ice. It's a little 3-pound lithium-ion power bank.
Yeah.
It's also as good for like a 20-pound bag of charcoal.
Wow.
So I can cook for 20 people, or I can keep drinks cold for days. And then you can recharge everything. You see the table is made out of a solar panel. So basically, GoSun is all about fueling people's independence and resilience through appropriate solar technology.
Hold on. So let's not skip over that, right? Because you said that, and that's so the table has got. So now I'm noticing the table has solar panels itself.
Right.
All of those devices, do they plug into the table as well to?
Yeah.
Charged, or
well, the table ultimately will charge the power bank, which sort of becomes the hub, and then everything plugs into this. And of course, all your other appliances can plug into it.
Wow.
This has we have a series of different power banks. This one has a cool DC voltage that you can adjust, so you can shoot it just to the right. Every appliance that we have, generally with a battery built in, will have DC, run on DC. So you can change the voltage from down to 5 volts up to like 25 volts, and fuel any appliance that you brought.
That's I like that a lot. Right. Again, that's incredibly good functionality. And again, I see use case, right, from campers, scouters, just folks that are caught in kind of situation that I've been caught in as well, just needing some alternative means of getting power.
Thank you.
Do you see any use case for this for people that live in the city?
Yeah, I mean, we're using them in the backyard or the balcony all the time. It's sort of a different way to barbecue. Of course, in the city, you're just as prone to power outages or evacuation issues. So, our technology is there for you to fuel your fun when you're having a picnic or at the park. It's also going to be there for you when you have to, kind of get bugged out. We definitely build everything to be more outdoor oriented, and outdoor and recreation and being out at the RV campsite, is kind of where our main market is. But we're also doing a lot of work in developing countries where people burn wood, on a daily basis to cook. 3 billion people are still cooking that way. And we're trying to break a cycle of poverty and bring in fuel-free cooking. Wow. As well as some of these other, like water purification. This is a water purification system. This won a CES Innovation Honoree Award. And inside this little solar-powered case has a 2-watt USB-powered pump. So it moves water. That water can go through a 3-stage purification system. Or you can take this, out of the system to go backpacking with and whatnot. And then, of course, because of COVID, we wanted to also, make it do the sanitation thing. Purell and hand sanitizer is great, but there's nothing like soap. As James knows, when you're out camping, especially with a bunch of kids, it's like, come on, get those.
Amen, brother. Amen.
So is there like a starter kit, or is it like you just buy every piece, or is there like a kit that says, hey, you know what, this is for the, like the I got a lot of friends that go out and they plug into like we're beach life here, and they get like their campers and stuff, and they just like park it at the beach and they plug in there. But I mean, I can see them just using this.
So we try to organize our things based on the need, like you see ovens, coolers, chargers, lighting, water, and depending on what the need is, you pick the solution. If you kind of went for everything that you see here, that's going to run around $2,000 to have the ability to cook, cool, clean, charge, light, purify, sanitize, and then do the coffee brewing. This is the latest product we launched. We launched most of our products on Kickstarter. Wow. And this, you plug into 12 volt, you pour about 16 ounces of water in here, wait 20 minutes, put your coffee grounds in. It has an integrated French press. Once the coffee's brewed after 4 minutes or so, press that down and you've got a couple cups of hot Joe.
Nice. And James, I think that's another good point. For all that, $2,000, like I said, today's technology is amazing because you can still keep the price down. I feel like that's a good price.
Look, he sold me. You see, I'm still drinking coffee now.
Yeah.
At whatever hour it is right now. So you had me bought when you said you have a portable truck coffee maker.
And that was actually inspired a little bit by the fires that, we saw fires hit Australia. We had this idea. We actually get a lot of ideas from going to CES and watching the lab and things like this. And, there's nobody that ever put together a way to brew coffee all in one, without burning something or without having to run a generator. It's hard to heat water. And so we just kind of shrunk the size. We had this ultra efficient little cup, and it takes a little bit more time than a Keurig, but it uses 1/10 of the electricity, and that way you can do it. And there's a fire ban at the campground, what have you, you're still enjoying a hot cup.
Nice.
Well, I mean, James, I called myself thinking about you. I know you're in the process of the rebuild, so I know that this is something that you will probably want to look into, and clearly you're sold, so that's all that matters. And hopefully somebody who's watching, they'll be interested as well. I live in the city, so like I said, I'm trying to find great use cases for it. But when you said going to the park and barbecuing, I think that would be awesome. So unfortunately, my girlfriend called herself barbecuing in our apartment complex, and she got a fine. So maybe she should. Maybe she should have just went to the park, and she could have just used one of these solar panel grills. So
she could probably do one of these in the complex because it doesn't throw off all that smoke.
Right. So where can people find you?
GoSun.co, and we're on Amazon and Home Depot and all the like, so you can see the reviews. And we're all about just fueling your off-grid life, and we're just getting to the tip of the iceberg for all the innovations bringing renewable energy into your life. Most solar companies are focused on your rooftop. We're focused on your backpack and garage, and trying to get you set up so that you can really have these things to rely on.
Okay, and lastly, if anyone wanted to reach out to you personally, what's your email?
Patrick@gosun.co.
There it is. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Likewise.
I'm pretty sure you'll be hearing from James real soon. This is he's got to get the summer ready. I might be taking, if COVID kind of calms down, because right now California's on lockdown, but I need to see some of that GoSun product over there when I take that trip out to California.
That will happen.
That's right. And we'll fuel those scouts as well, James.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. That was really good. That was really good stuff.
Thanks, Patrick.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We've been doing this for about an hour and 45 minutes. This is one of the longest shows that we've ever done. I cannot believe, but this is great tech. I mean, people have been coming in, coming out. I've been receiving text messages on certain products. We try to make sure that you have their email addresses as well as their website, to where you have a direct person. You can say you saw this show saw their product on the lab. But without further ado, because I know this guy has been in the room probably the longest. And but he's been a trooper, and I really appreciate it. This guy, he comes from the company name is called Trova, and it is storage devices that allow you to hide things in plain sight.
Whoa.
So it's your private security system right there. And without further ado, let me introduce you to Scott Loeppert.
That's right. Nice job.
I got it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Hey, look, this is our first time meeting.
Yes,
Steve said I had to bring you in. He said, hey, man, check out his link. Do you think we can get him on the show? And I said, you know what? When I saw it, I said, hey, I think I might need this for myself. So
I like it.
Hiding things in plain sight.
Yeah, no worries about the timing. I was able to go eat dinner with my family in the meantime, so it's all good.
So what I saw, if I'm correct, it's a portable storage safe where you can hide your money, your pills, your earrings, your rings, your jewelry, whatever. I mean, it's a portable storage safe that you can carry with you. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually a suite of storage devices. So we have everything from a small pocket size that we call Trova Go, which is this size right here, all the way up through what we're really launching at this CES this year is our largest home size. And the idea behind Trova is really on a platform of privacy and discretion. So a little bit different than the traditional safe that you would leave in a closet or forget about. This is about daily use of the items that you want within reach, but out of sight and securely locked away. So you mentioned a few of the use cases. One of the big ones as well is the recreational marijuana space. If you're a parent and you have any of that in your house, it's probably legal in most of the states, almost the whole country, all but 4 states at this point. But it's certainly not something you want your kids to accidentally get their hands on. And so this gives you a nice, discreet place to put those things with giving you a lot of peace of mind.
Firearms and things like that.
Yeah, you could do firearms. There's some solutions out there for firearms. We're kind of everything but, right? We really focus on things like prescription, medications. People say lock them up. Nobody ever does because, the current designs out there are kind of terrible. And you would never put those, on a kitchen counter in your house or a bathroom counter in your house. People also use it for personal protection items like mace. But the gun safe and gun space safe in particular, we sort of steer clear of because we're not fireproof.
Gotcha.
Does this product here, can you show us the case again or the safe again? Does it have like a lock or a pit? Like, is it fingerprint technology? Like,
even better actually. So we intentionally, so I'll just show you the smallest one. So we intentionally designed this to not look like anything in particular. It looks like a hard drive or a battery pack, right? And so the idea there, if we put a fingerprint reader on here, you would know that it held something inside of it. So what we did instead is a Bluetooth connection to an app. So it opens through your app. It leverages the biometrics on your phone, and I'll just show you guys real quick. So here's what our app looks like. A little bit of glare there. Sorry, from my studio light.
We can see it.
So, anyways, you'll just hit the lock, verifies my face, and it opens up there. So,
wow,
pretty slick and quick. The Trova Home has 2 cam locks actually, so it's quite a bit more secure. The locks sort of tighten things up and make it a little bit closer to airtight. So unique concept, unique use case, and innovative in the sense that typically when you look at storage safes, they're utilitarian. They're kind of dumb. I don't mean that in a mean way, but they're not smart and enabled. They're meant to be stuffed in your closet and accessed like once a month.
Interesting. Now, where can they find this product? Clearly, we have your website right now on the screen, but where can we find this? Is it in retail stores, or is it also, or just only on your website?
So we've got a couple of retail partners. We are on Amazon with our Trova Go product. We have all 3 of our form factors that we've developed so far for sale on our website, which is trovaofficial.com. And we've got a few retail partners. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bespoke Post. That's a website and a membership service. So we've got some products there. Done a couple of events with Touch of Modern.
Wow.
As well. Okay. And, slowly establishing a retail brick and mortar presence. Long term, we'd like to be in retailers like Restoration Hardware and things like that. But that's down the road. We're a very new startup. It's still my wife and I, working this from home. We ship our orders from our house, and we've been in business just over a year.
Is your safe waterproof?
No, it's not waterproof. It's close. It's highly water resistant. If you drop the Trova Go in a puddle, you're going to be fine. If it's submerged and sinks, it's questionable if the PCBA, the chip that's on the inside, is still going to work. Mostly because the charging port is not waterproof. The contents on the inside, because of how tightly sealed it is, are probably going to be okay. But you'd probably have to break it open if the battery goes bad after it's been submerged in water. Trova Home, it's going to be a little bit harder to, accidentally end up in water. It is tightly sealed. So again, the contents inside are going to be secure and in good shape. But it's going to sink if it's dropped into something big, and would be hard to recover if it's dropped into a lot of water. So
a use case for this, and I'm speaking of the Trova Go, not the Trova Home. Is if you're out right now, we can't travel due to COVID, but if you're out and you have like your jewelry, or you have some have like your ID or something like that, what would be that perfect use case for the Trova Go?
Yeah, so we find that people use Trova Go for 3 things. Prescription medications, especially sensitive ones, are high on the list. Again, it's your daily use needs. Maybe you've got nosy coworkers. You don't want them to know that you're on X, Y, or Z. Maybe you've got chronic pain, and you want to make sure that your grandkids or your kids don't accidentally stumble on your potentially life-threatening drugs and ingest them. So it's a little bit about an extra peace of mind in that particular use case. The next one is jewelry. So people use it as a portable travel safe for jewelry and valuables. Again, hotel room safes, for example, like everybody knows, they're easy to break into. A lot of people don't really find them all that secure. And so this gives you something you can put quite a bit of jewelry. My wife can put a lot of her jewelry in a Trova Go, and leave it somewhere unlikely, in a drawer, in a bag. Looks like you played the video, which is cool. I was going to do that anyways. So, And then also at the gym, you know, for example, my wife goes to a lot of, well, she used to pre-COVID go to gyms that are all social in nature, and typically don't have locker rooms anymore. They just have cubbies. So she'd go into dance class or whatever. She'd take her rings off and just put them in her bag. And that always, you know, kind of stressed me out. But now she puts them in her Trova. She puts the Trova in her bag. It's at the bottom of her bag. Nobody would think twice to swipe it. And the last one is, again, around the recreational marijuana space. It's a perfect size for vapes and edibles and things like that. And again, on your daily use, maybe you're going out with the boys or whatever, and you want to bring some toys with you. You want to make sure the wrong people don't get their hands on it.
The names that you mentioned, right? I mean, the bespoke, the respiration. So it's definitely geared also kind of at that luxury in market. When you say touch of modern, right? Again, not everyone necessarily knows touch of modern unless you're looking for something that gift for someone who kind of has everything. Right? Yeah. I go to touch of modern to find that unique type of thing. So
yeah, exactly.
Specifically focus again towards that market as opposed to maybe. I'm not going to find this in Walmart.
No. I mean, maybe a takedown in the future, but no, this is a CNC machined aluminum product. It's very precise. It's fairly simple to make, but it's not inexpensive. Yeah. And so, it is a premium product. We've won awards from a design perspective. We worked with an award-winning design firm out of New York City called Aladin. They've been tremendous partners. And so we wanted to bring elevated design. I can tell you guys the origin story as well. So, and that kind of leads us to where we are today. This is a premium product. We want it to be something that people are proud to have, but at the same time provides them privacy and peace of mind. And that's what we hear from our customers all the time, that this is something that, when they learned of it, they didn't know they ever needed, but once they started using, they use every day. Which is really, really cool place to be. But so the origin story is, we're in Colorado, we're a Colorado-based family. And we were one of the first state to legalize recreational marijuana. And my wife was going through a really bad bout of insomnia. We've got two boys, and she was up every night for probably 6 to 9 months from 2 to 4 a.m. or 1 to 4 a.m. every single night. It was terrible. She's keeping me up too, so it's terrible for me as well. And she tried all the pharmaceuticals. None of them worked, or they made her feel terrible the next day. She didn't feel rested and all that kind of stuff. And the end result, or the end solution, was some of the high CBD, low THC sleep aids that are sold in all the dispensaries and all, from a medical perspective. And it literally solved her problem. 3 days of taking that, and insomnia has never been back once. And she doesn't continue to take it now, unless it's recreationally she wants to. So here we are. We got two boys. They're 6 and 7 years old. I don't know if you guys have kids, but they are in your shit all the time. All the time. No privacy whatsoever. They're nosy, even when they don't mean to be. And, we were worried that they were going to accidentally take one of those gummies and end up with some negative side effects. So then we started socializing the concept to our friends, and we realized that fear of loss and that security need really meant something different to a lot of different people. It didn't necessarily just mean the marijuana space. It meant prescription drugs, like everything else we've talked about. It also means, by the way, in home, it also means it's also about sort of adult intimacy objects in the bedroom, right? Where do you put those? And you don't want your in-laws to stumble on them. You don't want your kids. I mean, my kids are never going to be the same when they figure out.
You got some explaining to do then, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not life-threatening, but it's certainly embarrassing. Stick with the kid forever, that's for sure. My kids will never be the same when they figure out it wasn't a neck massager, right?
I like it.
So,
yeah, I don't want to kick into your time because you got about 10 seconds left. But what's the the question? What is this retail for?
Yeah, so we're premium. So Trova Go, in my last 3.5 seconds, $199 on the website for Trova Go. Trova Go Plus, which has 60% more interior capacity than Trova Go for larger watches and things like that.
Can you put them side by side real quick?
So they've got really similar form factor. They just have a difference in overall depth. So Trova Go Plus is, again, 60% bigger, but still meant to be in your hand and easily in a bag and a pocket. And then Trova Home is $549. So that's our premium flagship product, and that will start shipping in Q2 of this year. And actually, we brought that down. Originally, it was going to be price targeted at $699. So a lot of CNC machine work, and aluminum is not cheap.
All right, so $149, is that correct?
$199.
$199. Okay.
$229.
Okay.
$549, and then we'll fill in the gap between those two with some other form factors in 2022.
Can I be selfish and ask for a review sample?
Of course. As long as you use it.
Oh, trust me, I have a great.
He's gonna use it. He's gonna use it. I'm looking at the dimensions of the home, and look, when that's available, I'm gonna buy one of those myself. I'm looking at charcoal. So it's same. It's same. Eric, you better talk to somebody, Eric. Hey, we got Scott on the line right now.
I got some further
discussions with you, sir. We'll have some further discussions.
I'm gonna extend the same invite out to you, Scott, like I did with everybody else. Every Wednesday we do this show, The Lab. James is gonna be mad because it's like, man, we're gonna go into Q2, but we got to get a break. So, but we're gonna find a way to get every company on this show, to give them some more in-depth time. I mean, quite naturally, 10 minutes is not enough time to give everyone their just due, but these were products that we saw at CES. It was it's been a challenge, but it's the first annual or the first ever virtual show, and just trying to give everyone an opportunity to showcase. We're doing the best that we can with the resources that we got.
Yeah, I love it. So I appreciate you guys bringing me on, and happy to come back whenever you'll have me.
Yes. So anybody that wants to find out, the website once again,
TrovaOfficial.com.
TrovaOfficial.com. And if someone wants to reach out to you personally, what's that email?
Scott@TrovaOfficial.com.
All right, there it is. Man, thank you so much, Scott. This really means a lot. I really like this product. It put a smile on my face when I saw storage, and it's like, okay, SD cards.
Yeah, it's modern day.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, like my camera gear, some SD cards and things like that. Yeah, I definitely can use it.
Yeah, a little more peace of mind, right? So I know I've taken too much time, so I'll let you guys go. But thank you very much.
Appreciate
again.
it.
Enjoy the dinner with the family, and make sure the kids do not get to the gummies tonight.
This house is secure.
All right, thanks, man.
See ya.
All right, we got one last one of the night, and we saved the best for last. Why? Because we've been knowing this guy for years. I don't even have my he's like this guy. I don't even have my my notes up for this guy.
First of all, you don't have your hat on.
Oh, I had it on yesterday.
You had it on yesterday.
Well, before the show, before he's over, I had it on yesterday with Lisa. I had it on yesterday. I just don't have it on today. But this guy, Benjilock, the fingerprint. He's stepping his game up. The fingerprint bike lock is the first of its kind, featuring the same unique fingerprinting technology that established Benjilock as the gold standard for modern personal locks. It is weather resistant and IP69 enclosure. He's getting all fancy, man. Features a highly secure rating of up to 18,000 pounds of cut resistance, stores up to 10 fingerprints, unlocks with a fingerprint or a key, and comes in a beautiful, sleek, matte black finish. So we're talking bike locks if you are bike riders, but he also has regular locks for your lockers or maybe for your book bags or something like that. But I guess apparently today we're only talking about bike locks. Without further ado, welcome my friend, my personal partner. It is a joy to see this guy. I have a picture somewhere. James, if you can take me off the screen and talk to him. I got a few things.
Look, we're going to move him off because he didn't come with the hat on, at least. Robbie, welcome to the show, man. We have been fans of you, fans of your brand, fans of your products for a long, long time. I have to unfortunately admit that I went looking at the store for Benjilock for my gym locker. Couldn't find it. Bought something else, similar technology. It didn't work. And after literally a week, I threw it away and said, you know what, I got to go back and get the right thing. So, how you doing, man?
Hey, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on. It's a pleasure. I mean, during these times, it's tough. I know everyone is going through so many things at the same time, and we're trying to navigate the whole CES 2021 digitally. The exhibitors, they have us at 4 a.m. at least for me, because I'm Pacific time. I'm like 4 a.m. I mean,
that's crazy talk, right, man? Man, but
we're winging it. But at least my hope is that everyone is doing healthy. Because with the whole COVID and all that, here in LA, they're saying now it's like out of I think it's out of 8 people, or about 8 minutes, there's someone that is having COVID. And my niece I just heard recently that she got COVID. She's asymptomatic though, so that's letting me know that it's pretty serious. I mean, it's spreading pretty fast here in California. So I'm hoping that everyone, in the show, everyone looking at the show and viewing that it's safe and healthy. But we keep it going. We're at CES. We got to be excited. Vegas from home, right?
That's true, man. That's true. I'm glad you prefaced it with some of those things. But you've got a long line of innovative products. I'm not going to say interesting, but they're definitely innovative. And I think you may have started the whole fingerprint recognition, right, from a lock perspective. And so someone like myself and Eric here, right, we spend a lot of time at the gym. He spends a little bit more. You see him filling out those medium shirts. But again, that's really the use case. Those and schools, when kids get back to school. But having, I can't remember a combination. Look, don't even ask me to remember 4 or 5 digits and left and right and all that. But having that biometric, that fingerprint scan, no one else has that, right? So no one else is going to open. And the quality of the product, right? So it's not that thin clasp. It's actually a thick. It's actually a quality piece of equipment that you can definitely be assured that your gear is safe when you lock it up with the. But look, let me not talk about it, man. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth himself there. And I think Tallboy's he's finally come to the show prepared and fully dressed.
There he is with the hat.
Yeah, look, I'm the unofficial brand ambassador of Benjilock. There's a couple pictures on my Instagram where I'm out here interviewing and doing work, and you're just randomly just picking up hats, and you just don't even think, and then it's like, oh man, Robbie he gave me this hat, and I was nice. Benjilock, so for the ones that are not familiar, he was on Shark Tank. And he actually won, and he partnered with Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Kevin O'Leary, and he came to CES on a dream. And the funny thing about it was, I met him. I told him I was going to come back to his booth. That day, I was when I say like I was sick, and I gave my word because it was the last day. We showed up, and he did not know that I was sick, and we built that relationship for the last 4 years of just coming to CES. And it's always a pleasure to see this man. It's always a pleasure to see his new innovations. He even partnered with Hampton Products, who also does home security. I'm not going to do any more, but all I am going to ask, because someone asked, is this a car lock? Can you show them some of the technology that you started out with and then end with what you're doing now? So kind of do like a brief, show the people how it started and then work up to where you are today. If you don't,
it's a thing of beauty, because it's like family. That's the beauty of CES, that when you go to CES every year, it's like you're seeing family again. And Tallboy saw me in 2017 when I started, and it was basically a CES unveil. It was just myself, my wife, and we're just in this little table with a prototype that you see on the back end, which actually doesn't work. It was just a basic prototype. And, and kind of like, the whole thing, it's always been that, locks are boring. It's always been boring. When you go to a hardware store and all that, it just felt like, I felt that Benjilock was going to bring some excitement to it. So, when you go to the gym and you have your Nikes or your Under Armour or your Adidas, and you got your Beats or your Apples, I felt like Benjilock fitted in that lifestyle, lifestyle on the go. And that was my whole mentality. So when I went to CES the first time, I said to myself, you know what? There's a lot of tech here, a lot of robotics, a lot of virtual reality, but I felt like simplicity is the key. And I just took that lock, fingerprint and key. That was it, simple. And it actually, resonated with a lot of people because, in this day and age, there's so many apps and so many things to remember. And at the end of the day, the idea started at the gym because someone left their locker, their key inside the locker, and they had to bolt cut it and drill it. I'm looking at all this, and I'm like, wow. At the time, I think I had an iPhone 5 or 5, and I think they started with the whole fingerprint. I'm like, wow, how come there's just not a lock that you can open with your fingerprint, but also with a key? Because I felt that you still had a key in case things fail. So long story short, to try to make it fast-paced, at that CES, actually, that Tallboy and I met, and I'll send you some pictures. I still have them here. A lot of people came walking at the show, and they were like, hey, is this product on Shark Tank? Or have you seen this product on Shark Tank? And I'm like, tell you the truth, I've never heard of the show, because I was born and raised in Dominican Republic my whole life. And I actually came here to LA to try to do music. But things didn't pan out, and I had no idea that this idea was going to come in. But I think, being laid off from work and all that, that's how kind of things spark, So that's why even right now with the whole pandemic going on, I feel that a lot of people are losing their jobs and all that. And it sucks. Believe me, because I was there. I got laid off in Christmas in the worst time of the year. Sometimes when you're going through rough times, that's where innovation starts, and that's how kind of Benjilock started. And, we're there at CES, we're there in Vegas, and I ended up doing that little casting call for Shark Tank, forgot about it. And then when I came back to LA, I'm living my whole life again, trying to do the best I can with this prototype. And then I got a call and said, hey, we're interested. Can you come in and pitch your product? And I said, I really don't have nothing to lose. Right now, I'm like $80,000 down building this prototype. It's been rough for the family and all that. So I don't have nothing to lose. Let's go and do it. So when I went to that show, I was basically myself. I didn't really thought about the money, because one of the things that probably you guys can relate and everyone that is watching right now is that sometimes you're working on your craft. Right now, you guys are working on your show. Right now, we're working on whatever it is. And there's always someone that doesn't believe in what you're doing. There's always people trying to put you down in whatever you're trying to do. And I went through it, and still to this day, I use it as a fire, because I don't know why, you should be keeping it positive, but there's always someone, sometimes even in your personal crew and all that don't want you to succeed. And at the end of the day, you have to use that as a fire. And that's what I did. I just still to this day, I use it as a fire. I still work from home, how it all started. And then when I had a chance to go on the show, pitch it, Kevin loved the idea. I partnered with him. So we ended up licensing the technology to Hampton Products International. One of the things that Kevin taught me was that, Robbie, as much as you want to try to do it on your own, believe it or not, you're stepping with a new product in a whole marketplace that now you have to compete with all the big public companies that have, unlimited resources. And for you to try to do it, we can give you the money and all that, but it's going to be very hard to disrupt. Right. And my thing was that I don't mind licensing as long as we can keep the branding, because for me, it was like, I believe in Benjilock, that's how it all started. And with God's faith, Kim Kelly, the CEO of Hampton Products, said, hey, we believe in Benjilock, let's do it. And so now it's Benjilock by Hampton. And because they build all the Brinks lock security and all that. So they are been, building security for over 30 years. Yeah. So that really helped me out, because basically that original prototype ended up being now the regular Benjilock with basically your fingerprint, but also traditional key. I don't know if this one is charged up, but there you go. So it's fingerprint, but also traditional key. And I'll send a couple your way. And that's kind of how it all started. So then from there, because of the whole technology, now we have a TSA one that when you travel, you got your TSA, they're the only ones that have the key. So
wow.
Key, and then also you have a combination code. So the beauty of this is actually we're the only one actually allowed in the airport to be a TSA lock, fingerprint TSA lock. So that really helped us out. But on a bump side, we unveiled the product at CES 2020, and then the pandemic hit us. So we were going all over to Hudson News, all over the airports, and then that really hit us hard. Yeah. But then, innovation, that's what happens. We knew that now all the gyms are closed. schools are closed. You know, my wife is a teacher. She's still teaching from home. Lockers, they're not useful right now. Yeah, we're getting some ideas of people using the lock in their garage for their gym and things like that, but it's not the same when you're doing your daily life, you know, daily routine to fly in for business or you name it. So we noticed that a lot of people right now, they want to do bike, they want to do exercise. So basically the Benjilock bike lock is basically the same technology. It's a fingerprint, but also traditional key. So you still have your key at the bottom.
Wow.
And the same technology, you know, because I think, you know, we didn't have a chance to showcase a lot last year. Same technology, we're also bringing it to the home. So it's basically a Benjilock door lock.
Yeah.
You also have your fingerprint, you have a code, and then you have a key. So then that same technology, now we've expanded from regular lock, travel lock, bike lock, door lock. And I mean that it's exciting because now, you know, seeing that hybrid technology from the small lock, and now you're able to bring it into all these different products. It's a dream come true, but I won't lie. It's tough for startups, for companies like me, that you're sometimes a one-man army, to partner with someone else, because it's kind of like you're letting your baby go in a way. But then also you have to think about, it's not bad about partnering. It's not bad about having other team members and giving other people's opinion, because believe it or not, when you share your idea to the world, regardless of what people think, there's always someone that is going to say, you know what, I believe in that. Let's work together and let's do it. And give him a chance, you know, because if I would have tried to do it on my own, I don't know if I get to this point. You know, manufacturing, customer service, distribution. Now with the tariff situation that all the companies are facing, starting now on January 1st, I think it's 25% of all the consumer electronic products coming from China and all of that. And I mean, it's gonna be a tough year, but long story short, you know, innovation happens when things are rough, and I think that's the beauty of it. And now post-COVID, we're introducing a door lock, a bike lock. Oh, and actually, before I forgot, actually, because we're promoting this tomorrow on the last day of the show, it's a sport lock, another small little guy, lightweight, on the go. This one doesn't have a key, but it's our lightest version, and it's basically your fingerprint, and that's it.
Nice.
So that's basically where we're at right now. You know, I'm extremely happy, you know, because, you know, it's been a lot of hard work, especially on the manufacturing side, because building hardware is tough. I mean, it is tough, but when you have the right team, anything can happen.
So are all these products, because you mentioned that the TSA lock was inside of the Hudson store, inside of the mall, but where can they purchase the product retail somewhere else?
So basically right now, you know, the whole product line is available at benjilock.com or byhampton.com. But again, we also have retail partners like Ace Hardware, Walmart, Beta. It's a very modern retail store. I think I heard also Touch of Modern. We've been on Touch of Modern. And I mean, I think we're expanding the whole line little by little. Oh, Best Buy as well. So little by little, we're expanding the line. But one step at a time, you know, because we're still in the phase of actually even imploding the first lock, because, you know, we're getting out there.
Yeah.
But it's not to the point that I personally envision yet. So you're gonna still see more of me there pushing. And one little thing that I want to say, you know, whoever's watching too, that, you know, a lot of people sometimes we have ideas and you know, I thought of that, but I never, you know, put my efforts into it. You know, whatever idea you have, whatever you want to pursue in life, you know, write it down, and every day just put a little bit of effort into it. And I'm telling you, things will happen. You know, that's why I told Tallboy one time that, you know, if you have a dream of being your own man or doing your own big show, every day you put a little bit out there. Doesn't matter the content. You know why? Because that's how things with time, they flourish. I've noticed a lot of people, they say, hey, you want to do this, we want to do that. But then the next day, you know, whatever. And we're all going through the same thing. I'm telling you, I got 3 kids at home, got a wife. There's every day there's fighting and all this stuff going on. And sometimes I'm drained. Sometimes I want to quit and leave it. But you know what? You take a deep breath, relax, the next day is a new day. And if you feel up that you have that energy to keep doing your show, keep doing this, then you got it. I'm a believer of passionate. You got to keep it positive.
Yeah.
The one thing I appreciate you, Robbie, is, and this is no knock against any of the other companies that was here, you told your personal story and incorporated it into the product. So it wasn't like, hey, this is my sale, this is my pitch, this is my story. And the one thing about you and I, I've always been about, hey, I'm my own brand. I create the content, even when I'm discouraged at times. We don't talk often, but when you'll shoot me a DM and you're like, hey man, I see your thing going, keep it going. And the way you just described in your 10 minutes, literally just told your personal story, and you were able to incorporate from my prototype to sitting at a booth at Unveiled to where now COVID is now hit and we're now thinking about bikes because people want to get out there and travel. So you showed your progression from when it was just a thought and just said, I'm just going to go to this conference, which was like the largest conference in the world, but you just threw yourself out there, and then look at where you are today, 4 years later, and 5 years later, and how you've partnered, and just even in your words that you've said tonight, partnering with other people and working with them, because it can't just be all you. And I mean, so that resonates with me personally, and I definitely commend you. And this is no knock to any of the other companies, but I mean, it's just the way you told your story. It just really, resonates with me.
No, I was gonna let you guys all know too that the thing is that you have to be authentic. Just be real. You don't have nothing to lose of being real, and especially now with COVID, we're all facing. I mean, even us, like the sales were down because retail stores, everything kind of it's a up and down wave. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you're real and if you're yourself, and you're building your own thing, people are gonna support you. No matter what. And those little things, I'm telling you, it goes a long way. And one little thing, because I know might be someone waiting, is that don't be afraid of networking. Because CES, believe it or not, the amount of exhibitors is not the same as every year. Every year you get 5,000-6,000 exhibitors. This year is probably less than 2,000, and I know why, because it's all digital. But take advantage. All the startups right now that are doing the show, if you guys are listening, take advantage, because you guys have the same platform as the big companies.
Yeah.
And so you got to take advantage of, we're all in the same route. How can I figure out a way to make a name of myself in this whole bubble? You don't have sometimes to have the best product in the world, but if you have a story and you have a passion of what you believe in, just share it. Don't be afraid of it. How many people told me at the same show that the Tallboy was at, and oh, your product sucks, or who's gonna buy that, or this and that. You know what? I said, hey, that's your opinion. That's great. We keep it going, and believe it or not, someone will. And hey, look at it now. It's actually at the stores. It's in retail, and that's how it is. You just have to keep it positive, keep it going, and things little by little will pan out.
So the smallest lock, what is that retail for?
So basically, the little guy, brand new one, $29.99. It's the sport lock. Then it basically goes up $39.99 travel. Then the bigger guy, $49.99. Then the travel lock, $79.99. And then the door lock, of course, now you're talking about home and all that. It's $159.99. Now, the beauty of Benjilock on its own, and again, I'm not saying that we're not going to use Wi-Fi and all that later on, because we're working on stuff like that, is that right now we don't use no app, no phone needed, no Wi-Fi needed, no Bluetooth. Everything is very still traditional. The one you can set up, you're your own user, you're the primary, you set up whoever you want on these products. So you
said it's up to 10. It's up to 10 people as well, right?
Up to 10 people on every product is kind of the same technology. Because that was my goal. Keep it simple. Because right now, I understand the smart home and all that, which is great. But, you hear the stories all the time of people hacking
your house.
Stuff.
Yeah.
stealing, your data. And I'm one of those that I'm very kind of in a personal way that I don't want to feel bad about a customer getting, this lost because they couldn't connect, or if they're at the gym and their phone died out and they couldn't open their lock because the Bluetooth or whatever didn't work.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to keep it simple, but you still have your traditional key. Because believe it or not, I get out of my house right now and every house in this block has a keyhole. I know it's 2021, but the key is.
You're right.
I was going to ask, but I think you may have answered the question. Do you see yourself incorporating Bluetooth technology with some of your future locks?
I probably do see it, Bluetooth, app-based, Wi-Fi technology, especially now with the whole 5G that's it's been a big talk at CES.
Right.
But I do see, though, tell you the truth, I envision the technology continue what it's doing, but it's also kind of, if you notice CES, how everything is now very EV, very using technology in other ways. I do envision the Benjilock technology going beyond the padlock. So that same hybrid technology of fingerprint and key, just putting some thoughts out there, imagine it maybe in your car, imagine it maybe, so there are a lot of cool stuff that I'm already working on because that's the future, so we'll see how it goes,
I'm appreciative of just the way that you say you were able to pivot, right? Again, with this change in dynamic, right? Again, we're not going physically to the gym anymore, right? We're physically not going to school anymore. The primary use case is normally for your product, but you know what? You can still get out and ride your bike. So, and you got to lock that bike up when you park it at the park. Came out with the bike lock.
It's funny because I just purchased my little brother a bike for Christmas, and I did not even think about a bike lock. I swear to God, I did not even think about a bike lock, and he lives in DC. So right now, the biggest thing is how do we get the bike from Atlanta to DC? But eventually he's going to end up getting it from Atlanta to DC, but he's going to have to, I don't want him saying, I'm not going to say my government name, but I could hear him calling me saying, they got my bike. They got my bike. Yeah, and now that I know, I'm going to make sure that he gets a Benjilock to where he's like, I get to put my finger on the thing and unlock it. So
hey, you guys have always been family. So after the show, I'm going to make sure that I send some stuff your way, whatever is the usage that you feel like you're going to use. I got you covered because it's always good to hear your feedback, because we're always improving. So we just got to keep it positive and keep it going.
I appreciate your support because you don't know. And for the ones that are watching, I appreciate everyone that's watching tonight, whether you came in on James's invite, it's Eric's invite, or my personal invite, or you saw this somewhere and someone tagged you. I thank everyone. But just to Robbie's testimony, I've been creating content for 12, 13 plus years. And it's, there's over 600-700 videos on my YouTube channel. And sometimes you get discouraged because, people aren't watching the videos, but you still stay consistent and you believe in that craft. You believe in that dream. And what ends up happening is you keep proving people wrong. And, or not necessarily proving people wrong, you do it for yourself because you believe in yourself. And to see Robbie do what he's done and to hear it come from an entrepreneur like himself, that is motivating for me to keep pushing because there's those times where we all are discouraged and we feel like we can't go anymore. And sometimes that message comes from Robbie and it's like, hey man, I see you doing your thing. And I may not have even posted in 2 or 3 months, but still see something that motivates him. So man, I thank you for this. Sometimes you save the best for last. It's not no knock on any of the other companies, but I'm so proud to see the development, to see this growth, to see it when it first started, to see where you are today, and see how you've partnered and how you've grown. Man, it's a true inspiration, man.
Yeah, and that's the beauty is that we keep going. I'm still the same person you met. I never change because the thing is that people that change, then they're not real. You just have to be yourself, be authentic, and things will pan out. I'm telling you, this whole journey has just been like this. Ooh. don't get discouraged. A lot of the times you're like, oh, things are not going the way I wanted, or, you know, what am I going to do? But at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? Take a deep breath. It's not your day. Take a couple days off.
Right.
Disconnect. Sometimes we need to disconnect from your craft or whatever you're
Right.
envisioning. And then if that passion comes back again, you know what? I like it. Let's keep going. And that's how it is. I tell you right now, and I don't mind, you know, if it gets recorded and all that, the day that I actually feel that I woke up and I say, you know what, I gave it all, but I'm done with Benjilock, then that's it. Like I'm done. But as long as I'm passionate, you better watch out.
Nice.
I love it. All right, man. That's Robbie Cabral. Where can they find the product? Website, real quick.
Hey, through you guys, you know, and also Benjilock.com and byhampton.com. And I'm gonna send some cool stuff your way.
All right. And then if someone wants to reach out to you personally, what's your email address?
My email there, rcabral@benjilock.com. You know, it might take me a couple days sometimes to respond, but
man is always on the move.
Yeah.
Can you spell that for me? Because I definitely want to give a shout out to Mr. Jay Walker. He's been in this room watching, taking notes. We're going to pull some of this audio. We're going to try and do some write-ups. So I just want, you know, I definitely want to thank my man Jay for staying on for this 2.5 hour show and watching and taking notes for every company. So if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. We got to give props to Mr. J then.
What's your email address one more time?
Oh, it's R as in Robbie, and then OBBIE.
No. What's your? Oh, there it is. There it is on the screen. R Cabral.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. There you go. There you go.
So thank you, Jay. I truly appreciate it. He did not want to come in the room. He said, "I'm just gonna watch." And man, dude, you're the truth. And if I never told you that, his birthday is on the same day as mine, so I can't, you know, talk stuff because he's a true Cancer like me, and he's gonna say something smart back. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. So Robbie, thank you so much, man.
Hey, likewise, guys.
Robbie touched us more than he may have thought, right? I mean, the story that you gave us, we did. I knew of the outside of it, right? But again, the struggle. The need to stay within your focus, to stay passionate. Again, that you had one finger pointing out, but three fingers pointing back at us as well. I mean, and so that you really resonated with that, man. So appreciate that. That's going to light the fire to keep us moving as well, because as we do our entrepreneurship types of activities as well. So,
hey, I'm glad. Anything I can do, I'll make sure to promote the lab, and you know, we gotta keep it going. It's the only way. So hope you guys have a great CES. I think we have one more day tomorrow, right? So want to see if I can do it 4 a.m. because I'm like, man, I don't know if I can do a 4 a.m. tomorrow from my time, but we keep it going.
I'm at the Connection Summit starting at 8, so I get 4 hours extra to sleep, you know, besides that 4 a.m. wake up call.
Gotcha. All right, Robbie, thank you so much, man.
Have a good night, guys. Take care.
Right.
Good night.
Bye.
All right, man. So what'd you think? CES, the lab, season 2, the intro.
just to go back on his story, though, I kid you not, I don't know if you saw my Instagram post. I said today, a lot of times when people give you a negative comment, it's because they're telling you their limitations, not your limitations. Kid you not, post that today. That was a great story.
So what'd you think? Was there anything that really stood out, or are you going to say all of them stood out? What was your one key takeaway, Eric? Outside of Robbie's story.
My one key takeaway, I just like how they were, like James said at the beginning, they're focused on relevant situations as today. You know, I think they're looking at health. I think they're looking at honestly, the one that really stood out for me today was that air purifier one. That air purifier one was pretty cool, you know, and the iPad one, of course. But the air purifier one was amazing because I don't know if I've said anything, but we went and got tested. I don't have any symptoms or anything like that, but as I'm clearing my throat. But you know, they said we tested positive for COVID. Everybody's fine. You know, everything is okay here. But that, like I said, that air purifier thing really kind of resonated with me.
All right, James.
Ditto. Right. I mean, again, and our mantra, right, for the lab, for infotainment news has always been timely, relevant news of the day, and for the lab is always to be unbiased product reviews of products and services that we actually use and that we actually recommend, right? We're not going to sugarcoat anything. We're going to tell it to you like it is, and if we don't like it, we don't like it. If we like it, we do like it. And it really was a different CES this year, and I think it was eye-opening. I think it was more serious because of the state of the world, right? So again, it wasn't a whole bunch of
concept
phone cases and
phone cases, exactly,
things that can't be used. It was actually personal hygiene. It was actually safety. It was actually staying in touch. It was well-being types of pieces and offerings. What really resonated with me, yeah, all of them obviously, but I think I would probably day one get most benefit and most usage out of that Hubble, like that iPad case that had all those ports. Because again, as content creators as we are, the more efficient tools that we have in our toolbox, the better I think we are at being able to deliver our message and deliver our craft. So something like that is going to be incredibly useful to me, because we are going to get able to get back out on the streets. We are going to be able to have Eric on those red carpets doing his thing. Tallboy is going to be out there again doing the Tallboy experience live and in person. So we are going to be able to get back to those things. And the more efficient we are with the products and the tools that we have in our toolkit, I think again the better it will be. So that number one, I was telling Robbie, look, again, I went to Walmart a couple of months ago looking for his product. They didn't have it. They had sold out of it, obviously, because it's the best thing out there. So I picked up I won't say the name brand, but something inferior. It did not work like I needed to. I actually had to have the gym folk come in and cut it off because it didn't work. So quality in terms of products matter, and everything that Robbie Benjilock has put out has been superior, A+, 2 thumbs up, whatever, all those accolades. It was good stuff. It was good stuff overall, and I think again, I'm glad we were able to pull a pretty diverse list of products.
Very diverse,
right? I mean, again, look, we went from a Rubik's Cube for 2021 to air purifying to solar panels to all kind of good stuff. So I'm really happy with this show, and I hope the folks that have stayed and watched are also appreciative of the content that we put out today. What about you, Doughboy?
For me, I think the diverse group of people that we had, I think people were expecting TVs and car tech and rollable phones and stuff like that. But to me, as I was looking at each product, I was trying to think of everyone. There, from toys to educational to elderly, guy stuff. I was looking for all of that, and I think these companies this year was very intentional. The price points can kind of scare you, but when you made the comment earlier, it made sense. What you said, it's like, what would you pay for it? If you're willing to pay $1,000 for a phone, you should be willing to pay $1,000 for an air purifier. That's clean air. What's more important? I think our mind is conditioned to think it's okay to buy the phone, but it's not okay to buy the air purifier. So I think these companies came in. I think that they really want people to purchase or look at their brands respectfully. We already know who the major players are, the major companies, but there's some new companies that are startups or that are just not known, and having them come onto the lab, whether you were watching it live or you come back and watch the replay at a later time and date, you'll know that, hey, there's some cool companies out here that actually exist, and it fits my needs, if that makes sense. So for me, I'm tied between the portable solid state drive, because I'm a tech guy. I'm always editing, and because some of my hard drives went out earlier last year, I was frustrated with the data recovery storage. So you're actually trusting a company's brand to put your sensitive information on their stuff. And if you lose that content, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're talking about a mortgage payment, $1,000 just to be able to pull that data.
Yeah.
Who wants to make that call? And I think the portable storage from Trova with Scott at the end, I think that's great because you can use that whether it's home or on the go to where it's inconspicuous. So between those two products, I mean, they're neck and neck with each other. So that's how I would have to leave. So thank you everyone for watching the show. I will continue to keep doing what I'm doing. So you can listen to me now or you can believe me later on. Shout out to Cujo Goody. But this is what we do. It's called tech and it's called the lab.
Y'all be good to yourself. Stay healthy. We out.